We are live here Monday night. I'm not going to call it the Roundtable because I'm just sitting across from Ed Heckman. And we're basically going to watch the Home Run Derby together.
Okay,
Andrew will be here in a little bit, though it is very natural when you're watching baseball. One of the great things about baseball is actually that when you go to a game, there's people always complain about how there's a slow pace of play, but really that gives you the opportunity to talk about stuff. And we can talk about baseball. We can talk about peanuts. We can talk about whatever you want. Well, just about wherever you want. So we're at the halfway point. How are you doing in your leagues?
Well, in my league that I am in Western Pennsylvania, that I've been in for 20 years, for the first time ever at this point, I'm in first place by about 26 points over the second place team. And I've lost Bauer, Flaherty, and Schwarber, and I'm still piling it on. I made some good pickups off the waiver wire.
I'm in a league where I have 102.5 points, and I'm in fourth place. The team that's in first place is 133. I've never seen anyone that high. You know, I mean, maybe in like the second week of the season or something when there's just a weird whatever. But like, there's 150 possible points. He's got 133 of them. I don't know.
There's 15 people in our league, and I have 133.5 points.
You have a visitor just over your shoulder.
Yes, that is Samantha. She's 10 years old. 9 years old, I'm sorry. We went to 3 White Sox games over the weekend.
They all lost.
Like I said, I've seen the White Sox win 3 games now, and I think I've only seen the Orioles win 5 times all year.
Facebook user says Joey Gallo wins tonight. You got a quick prediction? Who's going to win tonight?
Oh,
Orioles.
No, Mancini's
the Oreos
probably not going to win, but
I like Oreos.
Oreo.
I guess I would go with Ohtani.
Yeah, so it sort of makes sense. I'm going to go with Trevor Story. That's who I want to win.
Yeah, I also have him on my fantasy baseball team, so that would be good for him. Okay. The game is the Home Run Derby's on what channel?
It's on ESPN and ESPN2. ESPN2 is got like the StatCast stuff. It's because we're going to talk. I'm going to be on ESPN2 because I'm assuming if it's anything like the StatCast stuff that when they do StatCast baseball games, there'll be a lot of like info just printed on the screen. Do you hear my TV set? Can you hear
No.
my TV? Cool. It's light enough that if I want to listen, I can listen to something. I couldn't find my other headset. But they just did the announcements of the guys and the national anthem, and they're ready to go.
Okay.
At the Home Run Derby. Here's those quiet moments that no one cares for. I was sort of hoping that
Yeah, I guess I have it coming on my TV. It was showing some basketball when I first started it.
Hey, George. Come on, join us, George. It's just us watch George out in the chat room. We're saying nothing important. I have this thing about I got COVID hair. I'm actually at this point a little embarrassed to go back to the barber because I've been cutting my own hair for a year and a half, and it's a little bit. I mean, the truth is, when I cut it, it's even, but it doesn't grow out even, and it gets weird looking. So, but I got a new headset that covers up a piece of that, so yeah, that going for me. Did you have Ronald Acuna in any leagues, Ed?
No, I did not.
Huh?
I lucked out. I don't think I drafted first in any league. The league I was telling you about, where I had the 133.5 points, I drafted 12th out of 15 teams.
In every one of my leagues this year, I drafted third for some reason. And it just sort of fluked out that way. And it's many different choices, one's like a Yahoo randomization. Two of them were a Kentucky Derby style, where you pick where you get to pick. And I got third in that. That's actually where I wanted, because sort of targeting. I was sort of targeting Fernando Tatis, and I figured it was going to go Acuna, Trout, Tatis. And we have George Hubspin has Matt Olson winning this thing tonight. So we got Olson, Otani, Story so far predicted. But in two leagues, amazingly, now one was an auto draft league where you had to put up a list and then, you got who you got. In that league, I'm not that surprised that I got Acuna, but I got Acuna in another league too. And it was just like the guy picked Mookie Betts second. I thought, wow, that's bizarre. But now they're hurt. It's not as bad as the league that I have. I have a league where my first pick was Trout, my third pick was Luis Robert, my fourth pick was Marcelo Zuna. That was a tough one. Surprisingly, I'm still in the playoff hunt there, but that's a tough roll of the dice. But I think things will come back. But I can't remember last time Acuna was sort of the number one overall pick. I can't remember where the number one overall pick got knocked out for the season. That's going to change. There's probably, whatever. If there's 10,000 leagues on your site, probably 3,000 or 4,000 of the first place teams have Acuna on their team, and their future is changed radically. In one league, it's like, who do you pick up in place of Acuna when he gets knocked out? And it's like, in the one league, I wound up picking up David Fletcher. And that's the. I mean, not that David Fletcher's a horrible player. I'm not saying that, but it's a massive drop off.
Yes, definitely.
Yeah,
in
because
my league, the person that had to drop Acuna picked up Michael Taylor.
Yeah, that's not. I think I did better with Fletcher.
I do too. I also have a Yahoo free fantasy league with only 10 teams in it, where four of us are in a money pool for $100, and I'm currently in first place in that league.
Yeah, I'm gonna look up that. I'm gonna look up my Big 15 team, see what they replaced Acuna for. Yeah. Was Vidal Brujan available in your league for bidding this week, or did somebody already have him? That the second rookie that the Tampa Bay Rays called up this last week after Wander Franco, they brought up Vidal Brujan, Brujan. I know that in this particular league, kind of funny. Like he went for $320. The second pick, the next highest bid was $10. You always feel kind of stupid when that happens. My team. Well, let's see your transactions. Fab results. Yeah, Brajan went for $320. Eric Costa went for $50. Patrick Wisdom went for $35. Wow. Keith Hembry for $12. Where is the guy that lost? Oh, wow, the guy that lost him didn't even make a move this week. He was in too much shock.
Mhm.
Oh, here it is. He got Oscar Mercado. That's who they got. And that's the kind of thing you got to deal with when you're moving. Oscar Mercado is not a great pick. I mean, he had a good year a couple years ago, and everyone's sort of hoping to come back. He didn't look good last year. Who knows where it'll wind up? I mean, to be honest, I don't really care. I have a little bit of a rooting interest in Daniel Johnson because he's a minor leaguer in my dynasty league that I hope to does something. Because right now we don't know who's going to be the guy replacing Andy Rosario in Cleveland. It's going to be between Mercado and Daniel Johnson, one of those two guys. Because Rosario's only been out for 3 days. It's too early to say definitively what they decided. So Trey Mancini is up first. He's in the 92nd percentile in maximum exit velocity, but here he is up the plate.
What was that player's name that you mentioned?
Which one?
You asked me if it was available in my league. Brujan.
Brujan, yeah.
What's his first name?
Vidal, like Vidal Sassoon.
Oh, okay. Okay.
He was he was a pretty high prospect in the Rays system for 3 or 4 years. Going into this year, he was known for speed and known for batting average, but he started hitting home runs to start this year, and everyone really got really into it. So he went a lot higher. Big rumor here is Gallo's going to Padres. Facebook user, I don't know who you are. Big rumor is that Gallo is going to Padres, and this is what the Padres need, another outfielder. Actually, Gallo can play first base. I never liked Hosmer that much. So far, he's your boy Trey Mancini has got 2 home runs. 2.
Oh boy.
But he's taken his time out, which they always say is a good thing. Kind of collect your senses, sort of thing. And there's Andrea. She's coming in to say hi. She's visiting family. That's why I didn't know if this was going to happen tonight. Do I have to let her on, or did she let herself on? I'll let her on.
Okay, I'm looking at.
I can't let myself on.
What?
I couldn't let myself on.
I didn't know that.
Thank you, though. How's it going?
We're doing okay. We're just watching the thing. We're watching Trey Mancini not hit home runs.
I'm really rooting for him. He's not doing it.
It's only got 2. He's got he's still got 2 minutes left, but he only has 2. Now up to 4 real quick. He has got 2 in a row. A little bit of a run. 5.
Go Mancini. I love Mancini.
Yeah, just say that the best possible stories would be Mancini, Ohtani, or Trevor Story.
Everybody wants Ohtani to win. You could tell the crowd. Everybody.
Well, I said that. I said that somewhere where I said, I was in the chat room on Lenny's show where I said that I think this is the core thing will be Ohtani's coming out party, and he said, "What are you nuts? Everybody knows who Ohtani is." It's like, no, they don't. The true story. I was out the night before, and I was at a bar, and this woman and I were chatting, and she had heard that I was in the baseball and did these other things, And so she said to me, she said, have you heard of this guy, Shohei Ohtani? And then her follow up was she had established that she's from Cleveland or from that area, not Cleveland exactly. And she said, "Do you think that Cleveland, because Bieber just got injured, do you think Cleveland could get Ohtani?" I
Go
hear you.
Mancini.
That's the rest of the world. But after tonight, maybe the world notices. Well, not the world, America.
I can hear him hitting home runs. How
He's
many?
up to 16 now.
19.
I'm on the Statcast one. He's on a run here.
Go Mancini. Who do you want to win, Eddie?
He picked Ohtani, but he's rooting for Mancini. That's what he said. Well, I'll let you answer, Ed. I'm an idiot for talking for you.
Yeah, I took out Ohtani.
17.
I do love Mancini.
It's Ohtani against Juan Soto. Is that right?
Yeah, that's kind of. I was looking at going like there are some guys that I don't really, I don't care. I don't have anything against like Matt Olson or Salvador Perez, but those weren't guys that I wanted to see. I did want to see Soto. I think it's a shame that he's up against Ohtani. We'll lose one of those two in the first round.
Who's going against Mancini? Olson?
Yeah, Olson's up against him, I believe.
Did Olson already go?
No, Mancini was the first of the night.
Yeah, it's Olson. On Vidal Bruce John,
Yeah.
he was taken back on May 12th in my league. And that owner is now in 6th place.
What happened? He traded Ohtani?
No, I
No,
was asking him. The two questions I thought were interesting from this weekend were, who did the guy who lost Acuna replace Acuna with, and the other one was, how much did Brujan go in Fab if he was available just now? Like if you're in a league where you can't pick up a player until he plays, this Saturday would have been the first run. And we were talking about like I picked up who did I say I got in that spot? Oh, my replacement for Ronald Acuna is David Fletcher. The guy in my 15-team league, he got Oscar Mercado. It's just not that these are horrible players, mind you. It's just such a drop off. Can you remember, Adria, anytime that the number one overall pick was knocked out for the season?
Yeesh, that's a lot of people in the seats.
Every year we see a couple of the first round picks knocked out. Maybe not the first pick. You know
I
what
mean, people get injured all the time, but the actual the done for the season thing. I mean, yeah, I guess it happens later on when when a 38. Well, he's not done for the season. But I'm saying there that there's probably thousands of teams out there that are in first place right now going to the All-Star game who have now lost Acuna. So things can change radically in the second half. Mancini's up to 23. I guess I don't understand how this is done. Oh, he got a bonus time?
Yeah, he got some bonus time, but
That's a lot of home runs, especially because he did in the first 90 seconds he only had like 5. And then apparently in his last 90 seconds he had 19.
The seats will probably be full by the end.
Huh?
The seats are probably going to be full.
Who is it with us? Who's with us? Eddie Heckman, is that your? Who is it?
it's Samantha,
Hi,
my
Samantha.
9-year-old granddaughter.
I remember when she was maybe 5, right? Hi. When we met you, how old was she then?
Well, you met
I met the baby though, but
Caroline. No, was it Allison that you met?
the youngest little baby. She's probably 4 now though, right? Or 3?
Allison is now 4. She just had her birthday.
Okay.
Of course, Natalie is now 1. She just had her birthday.
Okay. Good. Really good. She
So
watching
when
the
you're-
home run derby too? Does
Oh,
she like
yeah.
the home run? Good.
There's Matt Olson. Oh, they're all wearing number 44? Or is that
so-
just a fluky thing?
Yeesh,
I made a
everybody
trade
wants
offer. Uh-oh.
Oh, it's a Hey Karen thing. That's what it is. Okay.
What's happening?
I see
I
a
just-
lot of 44s.
I was just, everybody's wearing number 44. I didn't realize that was going to happen.
I didn't either.
I have just, let me do low definition.
Huh?
That's better. I think I don't get great web connection here, probably. I made a trade offer to Jake Seeley, who lost Bauer, Acuna, and someone else. So he wanted, he was looking for more players. You know, like he said, he's willing to trade his best players for a group of
Three.
players.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what I offered him was listen to this trade offer, and he hasn't responded, but he denied my first offer. I just like every minute I'm always looking to see if he accepted it because it's a great trade offer, and he
I would say this about, I advise somebody else, like, people aren't going to look at their teams as much the next couple days, so your trade offer might sit for a little bit.
he
You know what I
already
mean?
rejected the first one, so I know he's looking at him.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I read his old articles, like his most recent article at The Athletic said that he thinks that Michael Conforto, somebody asked him to list some players that would be second half players, comeback players, buy low players like that. He listed about 10 players that he thought were buy low candidates in trades. Reese Hoskins and Michael Conforto were both on the list. So I offered him both Reese Hoskins and Michael Conforto and Cavan Biggio. And I offered him 5 guys for 3 guys. And he just hasn't responded. He must just be waiting. Like, I can't stand that. So I hate being on this side of the trade, but when I'm the other guy, I don't really rush around trying to get it done. I want to see what I could get, the best thing I could get. Here comes
Olsen's
Lenny.
up to 10. Olsen's up to 10.
Olsen's up to 10.
And he called his timeout.
How do you time out? I didn't see. I just.
All the batters are allowed to take a breather. It's just like 45 seconds or something like that.
Hey, Eddie, we're coming to Baltimore on the 6th.
Like I said, I can get a small discount on tickets.
Oh, that girl's going to get us some tickets. So we want to meet you there. Can you come and meet us?
I'll be there. Yeah,
Cool.
Definitely.
She's a nice lady, right?
Who's that, Adrian?
Yes.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Samantha and I got to meet her on Saturday.
Oh,
And we
good.
took a
Well, Samantha will
picture.
come to. Oh, good. Okay. The Orioles games are fun. Do they sell out? Does it get crowded?
no.
Right. It's just all kinds of seats available, right? How
Tons.
nice for us. I love that.
Yes,
Yeah.
and
Probably about as much seats as that stadium there. But not as much, because there's usually a lot of dugout parts that you
the
go
best attendance at an O's game was a couple days ago for Hawaiian shirt night.
to. Yeah, they were all
Hawaiian
shirt.
sold out.
Just over 26,000.
And they were all sold out because everybody wanted them because they just came back.
Yeah. Everybody's excited to go to a baseball game now.
Yeah.
I live in Florida where I guess we do have the Rays, but it's like I always deal with the minor league teams. Saturday night at Jacksonville Jumbo Shrimp versus the Charlotte Knights of the White Sox.
Ouch.
That was George Costanza bobblehead night.
George Costanza from Seinfeld.
Yeah, well, it's
Wait.
because of that. It's because of that. The joke in the thing. Remember where there was a thing where he was at the meeting and he was eating all the shrimp,
He's always
You
talking
know?
to Steinbrenner.
and the guy said, "Hey George, the ocean called. You eat all their shrimp." That one. He goes, "That one," and because they're the shrimp, they have it. I'm gonna put the picture of the bobblehead in the in the in the in the chat room if I
Okay.
can figure out how to do that. Add
Go
photo.
to Padres. What about Gallo going to Padres?
I didn't hear it. Somebody, a Facebook user said, I don't know who that is.
Yeah. So did Olsen just? I just hear a lot of cheering right now. I'm wondering if he just passed Mancini.
No, he still has a ways to go.
Yeah.
He still has 47 seconds or something.
He's got a whole minute, and I don't think he's got his bonus yet. If he, I don't know how you get the bonus. I think you have to hit a certain ball into the.
You have to hit it far enough. It's a certain number of feet that you have to hit.
They have to have, like it's something like 450 footers or something like that. Huh. Can't find
He's
it.
hitting him like crazy, dude. He's gonna pass Mancini. Oh no, it's a tie. And he has a bunch of time left, right?
Into the crowds.
I think we're on different times because I only see him at 21.
They're tied.
people are
It ends
building
with them
that one
tied. So now what? They have
22,
to.
22. Missed. 15 seconds.
He tied.
14.
I have to tell you. I have to be the spoiler alert here.
I'm watching on the on ESPN2. They have the Statcast version, and I'm watching on that one. So maybe they're behind a little bit.
Well, yeah, you need to catch up with the rest of the people. So they tied. So that means they go into 1
No.
minute. They
I
get
think
1 minute.
I think Mancini had 24 and Olsen had 23.
Winner.
Yeah, that's what it was. I'm pretty sure.
I
24,
never knew the
23.
Padres were a baseball team.
Well, you guys are Baltimore fans, so this must be great for you, Mancini playing. Is he a fan? He's a fan favorite, right?
Oh, yes, most
Yeah.
definitely.
Even Manny
can't-
Machado.
I know, right? Yeah.
Yeah, but he left.
I would imagine so. But Mancini now, because he's. What a great story about him.
Yeah, I bought his jersey about a month ago, but I'm waiting to see if he gets traded before I wear it.
You have to wear it now. What if he does get traded? Then you won't wear it anymore. You have to wear it
Well,
now.
I can exchange it. If I don't wear it, I can exchange it.
I just don't know why they would trade him.
I can't
I mean,
imagine that
Baltimore
they
is-
will, but I just want to be sure.
He's on the trade. I mean, and when you read the rumors, his name is constantly mentioned. I just don't see, because they are trying to build a team. The Orioles are trying to build a team right now. They have a lot of youngsters, right?
Right?
I
They
mean-
definitely do. And Mancini still has 1 year of eligibility.
Oh, he's great. I think they'd have a better chance of trading him if he wasn't coming back from his illness, because it's hard to offer somebody, a bunch of money when they are coming off of something like this. But you never know. He's doing great. I mean, Ohtani's on pace for 60 home runs. Is that even possible in life? No, it's not possible.
I was
Of course, it has to have a key because you
in the preview of the game. They talked about the last time the All-Star game was in Coors Field, and that year Mark McGwire had 37 home runs going in, which is actually more than Ohtani has. So I don't know. Something happens. They get a little, who knows? Maybe they, what they did with Mark McGwire, they walked them more, right? Maybe people pitch around Ohtani. As bad as the LA Angels team is outside of Ohtani,
Yeah, he doesn't have a lot of protection.
it's surprised he doesn't walk a bit more than he does.
I know. Me too. Me too.
Yeah, he's not a bad walker. He's just an average walker.
It's funny because you look at a guy like, is it Real Muto that's doing it with the ball? Where he's walking and he's got an on-base percentage that's crazy good, and his batting average is horrible. Why do people keep throwing him balls? Is it Grandal? Grandal's doing it. So why do people keep throwing balls to this guy and letting him walk? Why is that? Why don't they throw him strikes? This guy's walking an unbelievable amount. They're just letting him do it.
Well, I mean, I think that the weirdest guy in that same vein is the career that Carlos Santana put together, and I don't think it's just them not pitching to him. It's the fact that there are guys that just want to swing at certain pitches and they don't swing at anything else, and they wind up walking a lot.
But as a pitcher, you have more control over that than, don't you? Why do you keep throwing him? If you throw strikes, then he can't walk. That's all there is to it.
I can't imagine, being a big league pitcher, because you sit there and you go, there are certain parts of the plate that versus just about every batter is going to be a home run, and you're like, well, so you get scared to throw on those spots, so you wind up throwing on the edges, and you miss by a little bit. I think we over glamorize how much precision pitchers actually have. They have some precision, but they don't have great precision. They couldn't hit like a battery off your shoulder or something like that with any regularity. So you miss by a little bit, and the guy gets strike zone. But if you hit the strike zone, you're going to give up a home run. That's the problem. When you don't want to give up the big thing. A walk is no big deal most time, and especially walking somebody like Grandal, who's not really a good runner. Walk him.
Are they afraid of him hitting a home run?
Well, you're afraid of everybody. I mean, like I said, I never played, but I played simulators like Major League Baseball, the show, and it seems like if you ever hang a ball up to anybody, they hit a home run. Now, I think that's, it's the batting practice you're seeing. Like, nobody wants to throw the ball right over the center of the plate ever. And only by throwing right over the center of the plate can you be pretty sure you be like 90% sure you're going to get a strike.
But if you're a pitcher and you know that this guy will take a walk, why do you keep? I think that professional pitchers should have the ability to get in the strike zone.
I don't know why he walks.
I do believe that is true, but if a guy is he hasn't done that much.
I don't think they're intentionally walking this guy, dude.
I've watched like pitchers. I think of who was that guy that the guy that was the closer for the Cubs for a few years, about 12 years ago. He had 122 strikeouts one year, and then the next year he was just horrible. And people just learned not to swing at the pitch because the ball wasn't going in the strike zone. The same thing that's going on with Andrew Miller. Andrew Miller was unhittable for a while, but the truth is, and he probably never threw 3 strikes out of every 7 pitches in his career. He stopped doing that. Like, the pitches that get people out aren't those balls over the middle, aren't the clear-cut strikes. And so the better pitches are the ones on the edges. And when you're throwing for the edges, you're going to give up balls.
Like, if I saw Yasmani Grandal come to the plate and I was a pitcher, I would be like, "You're not getting any balls, bitch. I will strike you out." Because he strikes out. He does. He strikes out. If he comes to the plate, the chances of him hitting it are not that high.
That is true. They all strike out enough.
Who's up now?
Trevor Story. This is who I picked. I just a hometown kid. I feel bad for Story because he hasn't had kind of a bad year this year. He's been a guy that I've rostered in many leagues for many years, and I will.
He's not having a bad year, though, is he?
He's having an okay year, but a bad year for him. But I fear he goes somewhere, and he never helps out my team again.
It's a little scary when somebody leaves Colorado, but look at Arenado. He's doing well.
Arenado's doing better than I thought he would. But he's still. I've actually had that stat beforehand. Like, when he was in Colorado, he had a home run every 15 at bats, and now he's a home run every 21 at bats. I mean, it's not that many at bats, but you got to realize that actually like a jump of, what is that, 33%? Like, he's 33% less of a home run hitter.
Definitely.
And, but it's not like 1 every 21 is a bad hitter.
Who's going up against this guy?
Oh,
who is this?
This is Trevor Story.
Story, yes. Who's going up against Story?
I should probably have that somewhere.
Gallo. Everybody loves Gallo. Everybody thinks Gallo's going to win. Maybe they think Shohei Ohtani's going to win. Did you get new headphones, Douglas?
Yeah, I bought these a couple of weeks ago. I told you about that. I got them in the Amazon deal. They were $14.
Yes, I remember now. Great. Good deal, dude.
I realized when Mancini was playing, he's usually 16, not 44.
That's right.
Yeah, but everybody was wearing 44 tonight because of Henry Aaron. That was Henry Aaron's number.
Oh.
Considering
Is
that,
the Home Run Derby, the show? Oh, he won those.
sorry, Home Run Derby, the show.
We used to have all the home run derbies on the website. We used to have them all. I put them on a page.
The old
They're
ones.
pretty good show. The TV show, and when
Yeah.
they had them on.
They used to show, when I was growing up in Chicago, the Cubs games were on 130, 140 games a year. And so they would have a lot of rain out programming. And that was one of the things they would show in the rain out programming was those old home run derbies. Because they didn't have any backup plans if there wasn't 3 hours of mediocre Cubs baseball. Yeah, I got so on Twitter today, people got mad at me because I was asking them the question about somebody posted that Shohei Ohtani is going to bat first and start as pitcher, and I said that under the rules of the game, he can't do that. How are they going to get away with this? So like, are they changing the rules? That's all I was asking. Like, and people are saying I'm no fun. No, that's just what the rules are. I thought that what they would do is that he would start as DH, bat first, and then like in the fourth inning after a second at bat, then he'd pitch that inning and then he'd go away. But they're changing the rules for it. But like people like acted like I was a jerk because I just asked that question. How are they going to do this?
You're not allowed to ask questions, okay, on Twitter. That's the rule. You're not allowed to ask questions.
I'm a party pooper because I
Don't
think
do
that
anymore.
I am so much less fun because I think that it would be okay to have Ohtani pitch the fourth inning rather than the first because it'll be so much more boring.
I don't know when did we decide that people were bad people for asking questions?
Yeah, it's like, well, the guy said something like, well, it's like he's batting first. Like that's the obvious decision. I go, it wasn't obvious to me. I didn't know you could do this. You know what I mean? It's actually literally changing the rules. How can that be obvious? I didn't go down that too.
So they did change the rules for him, and he could do whatever he wants, or what? He's going to pitch and hit, and then
we have a word. We have a word for a pitcher that bats for himself. You know what that word is? A pitcher.
T-ball.
All pitchers. Madison Bumgarner bats for himself. Clayton Kershaw bats for himself. Jake Arrieta bats for himself. Aaron Nola bats for himself. But I actually think that I know they elect the DH because there's a DH position in the American League, but I actually think the game would actually be better if they had the pitchers hit because it's hard to get all those players in the game and it would allow you to cycle through some pinch hitters, you know?
What do you think the chances of Ohtani getting hurt after this?
That is the you're not talking like now between now and the season. That's the scariest thing.
Like after the All-Star break, him just coming back and getting injured and stuff.
Yeah, he's only had like one injury-free year, and that was when he was 20 years old. In wherever was it? He was with SoftBank, right? I can't remember. No, he was with the Ham Fighters. That's who he was with. Like every year, he's had an injury. He's had some minor ones, but yeah. If I was, and I possess Ohtani in a lot of leagues. That makes you a little nervous.
Sell him. If you have him, you have to try to sell him immediately.
I don't know what kind of offer would be reasonable for him. I think that I have a reasonable idea of what the player is. I really just see him. I see him as a hitter. You know, I've only been able to play him as a pitcher one time, and it wasn't really that good. It was all right. You know, he had one of those games where he pitched, like struck out 8, but walked 6 and allowed 1 hit. So Gallo's up. He's up to 1 home run. But I don't know what the right offer is. I'd love to
Depends on what you need on your team, I guess. It would depend on what you need.
Yeah.
Probably safe.
What I would really need is, well, like I got turned down an offer. I was trying to remember what that offer was, but it was like, I remember I said I was going to try to move Marcus Semien. So I offered Marcus Semien and Jared Walsh for Randy Arena and Steven Strasburg, and the guy just laughed at me. Like he sent like a snide return back. I mean, don't get me wrong. I don't think it's the perfect trade offer, but it's not horrible.
I don't think that. What did you think you were asking too much?
I was asking for injured pitcher, and that league is fairly shallow, but he doesn't have a first baseman. Like his first baseman is fairly pedestrian. I think he has Eric Hosmer or something like that. And I'm probably even worse.
What are you offering him?
Marcus Semien and Jared Walsh for Steven Strasburg and Randy Arozarena. I mean,
Strasburg is such a question mark that you're really taking a risk on that. Regardless,
right now, Simeon's the best player in the group. He's
hurt too. Though both of these guys are hurt kind of. I guess. Are they both hurt?
No,
it's not Simeon. It's Freddie Galvis that I'm thinking of. It's not Simeon.
Simeon and Rosarena are both healthy. But Jared Walsh was sort of a fluky thing. Like I have. That's the league where I have Freddie Freeman at first base, and I really don't need Jared Walsh at first base.
He's been great, dude. He's been a good player.
Oh, yeah, that's good. I'm not knocking it. That's why I thought I was giving him like 2 pretty good players for Rosarena
and Strasburg.
Yeah,
I think so too, dude. I think it was a perfectly fair trade offer. But
yeah,
everybody values their own players more than their worth.
But I think that this year it's worse than most because last year was so confusing as far as how to evaluate players based on last year. Like I can't even articulate how I value last year exactly because sometimes I care about last year's stats, sometimes I don't. I'm a little bit more like if somebody showed me something good last year, I'm a little bit more to say that's in him. Maybe he's that good. But if somebody had a horrible year, I'll just go, who cares? We'll move past that. And so people are all over the place. I was telling Ed before you got here, that team that I have in that TFTBI, the 15 team, I'm back up to 102 points. But the team that's in first place has 133 points. The team that's in last place has 29 points. I've never seen any team that low or that high in my life.
What's the rest of the crowd all together in the middle?
Well, I think we have one of the tougher leagues because I'm in fourth place with 102, and in the overall I'm like 66 out of 450. But most people are in that. Jeff Zimmerman, he's a good guy.
Yeah, real good guy.
Yeah.
Very friendly guy.
Yeah.
Jeff Zimmerman. You know who he is, right?
Yeah, I'll never touch Strasburg again. I got burnt by him last year and didn't even think about him this year.
Gallo's having a rough time.
I don't know who I'm going to draft as a pitcher because I'm just burned out on all of these fools. All of them. All my favorite pitchers.
I actually feel pretty good about my draft strategy in pitching because it seems like I've gotten through the rough patch where all my old guys are, and I feel like there's good things going forward. Even Strasburg, I expect better things in the second half than in the first half. Because what did I get in the first half, You
got nothing, so it only can go up, dude.
That's what I'm saying. But it's like while these other guys are kind of like losing a little bit of gas, my Charlie Mortons and Adam Wainwrights and Lance Lynn's are just pitching away, and I think I can catch up a fair amount. I don't think I get the 133.
I mean, if that's the way going forward, because I was picking from that middle group of or that second tier group of Kershaw, Castillo, Gallen. I mean, I had a group of pitchers that I was fine to get any of these guys, and now I'm just burned out on all of them, dude. All of them.
You guys before the season, not just you and Lenny, but people on our show and people who were talking in the chat room, were all like, we're worried about getting the innings, and so I kind of like overcompensated to say, like, I'll take a guy with a 3.70 ERA if he can get me 180 innings, because there are not going to be that many guys that do that. And who knows what's going to happen in the second half of the year. We're talking about Ohtani, maybe getting injured, but there's a good chance that we're going to see like 15 different pitchers get put on limited scheduling, to get to the playoffs. And guys that you're counting on, I can't come up with a name, but like a Zach Gallen type or a Trevor Rogers type, the guys that was really counting on aren't going to pitch as much.
I don't know, man. Zach Gallen's been injured a good chunk of the season.
Yeah.
He could come back. He could maybe not pitch again.
He's not the right answer, but but I'm talking about a pitcher who's like 24, 25 years old, has never really pitched more than 90 innings in a season, and it's going to be to a lot, as opposed to every year we always talk about 4 or 5 guys that are going to be unlimited stuff. Gallo up to 18, but he does. Is that enough? Story's 20.
How many does Gallo have right now?
He looks like he's done at 19, which is
Yeah,
one under
he is.
Story. Story advances.
Who beat him, Leonard?
Huh?
I was telling Lenny.
His hardest hit home runs so far tonight are Gallo and Mancini both have one at 113 mile per hour. His average distance was 444 feet and his 19 home runs.
Ohtani's coming up. He's going last, right? Because he's the number 1 seed, or what?
Well, we only had 2 sections, so we've gone through 4 players. We need one more group before Ohtani,
But Ohtani goes last, right? Because he's the number 1 seed,
I assume.
and he goes up against Juan Soto, right?
Yeah, they're showing them in the Soto and Ohtani in the batting cages, the underground batting cages.
Okay.
Let's see what's going on in the chat room.
Okay, I'll be right back.
Okay.
Yeah, go ahead. This is really casual tonight. Strasburg will never come close to satisfying his contract, Mitch Harrison. I thought his contract was fairly team friendly. I'm going to look that up. I thought he undersigned. I mean, don't get me wrong. He's a very wealthy man.
They all are.
But, I mean, he signed the contract at a point in time when, like, guys like oh, wow, that's a lot more than I thought it was. I thought he was around $20 million a year. But he's not. He's over 30. So, yeah, that's about what he's worth, but he's got to be healthy. Oh, it's a current. What am I thinking of? Yeah, he had signed the team friendly contract, but he had signed a new contract, which is now making a lot more money. Strasburg did that earlier one. He made 10, 10, 15, 15, which is pretty good for the first part of his career. Okay, but this other one he makes a lot of money. Mitch Hairston, well, Andrew's not here. There's something I was talking about the other thing is like the surprise first place teams. You got the Giants and you got the White Sox, right? Or pretty. I'm not
Right.
The White Sox aren't really a surprise. Giants are a surprise. And the thing about the White Sox, the reason why they're ahead there, like I said, I have Lance Lynn in a good number of leagues. I was watching his last game that he pitched, and they were saying that like whatever with his 4th strikeout of the night, he became the 4th Chicago White Sox pitcher this year to hit 100 strikeouts, and it's only the 2nd time in history that the White Sox have had 4 pitchers hit 100 strikeouts before the All-Star break, right? And I looked at that and I go, you know why the White Sox are winning? It's because of this. It's like their pitchers have not gotten injured like everybody else's have. Like they've been able to trot out Giolito, Rondon, Lynn, Dylan Cease, and their number 5 guy that went out 100 strikeouts, Dallas Keuchel, every game, and that's been really the best pitching staff in baseball, don't you think?
Definitely.
I mean, we had high hopes for the Dodgers, but they haven't been able to do what they've done. Mitch tells me, thanks for the advice on Nico Goodrum. He was looking for some steals, and I said, try Goodrum. He just came back from the IL, and he might be available. Not crazy about the players. It's hard to get really good stolen base guys. I lost Cuna. That's a lot of stolen. I was actually looking at it going, the stolen bases are harder to replace than the home runs, but actually they're both pretty darn hard. But I did take in one league. You look at it and you go, you're looking at replacing Acuna with Oscar Mercado or David Fletcher. And you said, what if you roll the dice and you pick somebody who might be great? Who should be the AL Cy Young Award winner? And this kind of actually bothers me a little bit because no one's giving. I see these two pitchers as being roughly the same, and everyone's talking about. Admittedly, DeGrom's probably going to win the NL Cy Young Award, but the number 2 guy in the National League is Kevin Gausman, right? Everyone says this guy should be a Cy Young contender, and I don't see that much difference between Kevin Gausman and Kyle Gibson. And no one is talking about Kyle Gibson to win the American League MVP. So, it's like, why does Gausman get the love and Gibson not? Both have the same background, lots of years of fairly mediocre play. Admittedly, Gausman was a much more hyped prospect. It wasn't like Gibson was a slouch. Mitch Harston asks, did I screw up trading Tim Anderson for Willie Adames and Mike Trout? I'm in the run to win 15. No, you did not. No, you did not. That's a good trade. You got the best player in Trout. Trout is going to go. Trout is going to go on a rehab assignment pretty much the first weekend after the All-Star break. So Trout will be back before July is out. And Willie Adames, you think I can't make a case that Anderson should be MVP. I have Anderson on one team, and he's literally not that good. He's definitely the pitcher that goes at that spot in the draft between the great ones and the average ones, because he needs to. He has to hit 300 to be a good shortstop for fantasy purposes, and he hasn't been doing that. He's been hot lately.
I'll be right back.
He's D Gordon with more power. D Gordon was a top 3 round pick when he hit 311, but when he hit 260, he's barely in the top 100. Let me go back to Pete Alonso is up. He just hit his 10th home run, according to what I'm looking at on StatCast, on the StatCast broadcast. And who's this number 58 pitching to him? So Alonso takes his break with 12 strikeouts. I mean, Anderson's a good player, but he's not a great player. I've never actually had him on any of my teams until this year. I have him on one team, and he really is frustrating. He's not quite great. I mean, I guess he's, maybe we have a few guys that we put in the elite category that might not belong there either, like Corey Seager. That remains to be seen, though I do have high hopes for him. And Xander Bogaerts shows that he should be in there. But Francisco Lindor, who knows where he's going to find out. I don't think I played a long shot on Trout. I mean, you're looking at giving up. You're giving up 2 more weeks of Anderson than you're going to get out of Trout, and Trout would probably make up Anderson's numbers in 6 weeks. And it's not a knock on Anderson. I'm saying he's awful. It's just how good Trout is. And you're getting this other guy. You're getting Adames to fill the spot. Now, I'm a little worried about the Milwaukee guys because, like, I look at that team and go, "How the hell is this team in first place?" Lon's up to 18 runs. They do. I mean, it's not the guys that you thought would be good for them. That's basically what I'm trying to say. The guys you thought would be good were going to be Yelich and probably Castanheira, and they're doing it on the backs of Avisail Garcia, Willie Adames, and Julio. Some Luis Urias. Which Urias they have, I don't know. They're probably going to fade somewhere down there. And they come back 21 for Alonso. Foul ball.
So what Alonso still has about a minute left.
Yep, he's one on the front end of that. Yeah, I mean, I understand Gelson's had a good year, but Gibson is he's 6-1 with a 2.29 ERA, 88 strikeouts in 102 innings. That's no slouch.
It's like 1,000 today. Like 1,000 of these.
Is Avisail.
It's like, it feels like 1,000.
I'll put this back up here. Breaking news. Home run just hit at Home Run Derby. That's my banner. I worked hard on that one. Yeah, I picked up Suarez. The thing, like, it says a cutlass creamer for Suarez. I've been doing this thing just starting this last week about trying to pick pitchers based on. I had this realization when you're in 1,000 fab versus 100 fab. It's like you can get a lot of players for $1 or $2, and literally you could buy 3 players for $1 every week and it not even touch your fab. And I had this realization that there are so many bad teams in baseball that I should try to focus on those guys, right? So on my show this week, I said the guy that I'm going to pick this week is Brad Keller. Brad Keller's got a good matchup, but I picked up Suarez for his matchup on Sunday, and he pitched 5 innings, got 5 strikeouts, got the win. Yeah, there's a lot of bad baseball, and you can go pretty far betting against teams rather than for them. Alonso has a mere 33 home runs now. 34. That's pretty good, huh? The good news is he's going to knock out Sal Perez, who's the guy that, I mean, if you had to pick one of these guys that you didn't want to see at this game, not that there's anything wrong with any of them, but Sal Perez is the least exciting of the bunch. I know Dean Wormer is. Dean Claimer, that's your bet your life. No catcher has ever won this event. Does anyone really win this event?
I don't know. Do they?
Salvador Perez is here to change history, according to George Hubschman, or at least rewrite it. He's going to set the all-time mark no one will ever surpass for the fewest home runs under the system. I watched a little of the pregame to this because it looked like we were going to do this tonight, and so I made plans and I went and had dinner with a friend, and then I came home. I'd rather watch baseball. Who was the last catcher to be in the home run derby? Any idea?
I don't know. I'd guess Sanchez, maybe.
Yeah, he was in one, wasn't he? Gary Sanchez. That's a good call. I didn't do that well, but he got knocked out the first round. But he was in one, wasn't he?
Oh, I'm not sure about that, but that was just my guess.
I'm trying to remember that. You missed Pete Alonso go nuts.
What did he get? How many?
34. 34. According to this, do you know who has the most all-time home runs in the home run derby? Anyone?
Barry Bonds?
No,
Big Poppy?
If you're to think of me and think of one baseball player, who would that baseball player be?
Mickey Mantle?
No, Jock Peterson.
Oh,
With 99.
I did see that, but I forgot it.
Yeah.
that's true?
Yeah, he passed up. I know Todd Frazier had the thing. He passed it to Todd Frazier in 2019. It counts all rounds, and the truth is, like, now it's going to get obliterated because it's only been like the last two All-Star games where they did the thing where you get a certain amount of time and as many as you want. It used to be by pitches. And so they're going to obliterate these rules for sure.
Salvador Perez.
They're saying that no catchers ever won this. So we're just trying to see if any catchers ever actually participated in this. I could have sworn, what's his name? Like he brought up Gary Sanchez. I think he was in one. What was the best the catcher ever did?
I know for sure that catchers have been in this.
But no catcher's ever won, that's true. But I think catcher's done well.
Maybe Pudge.
Oh, wow. I just want to do a cache of this information, which is kind of crazy. Okay. Carlos Santana is no longer a catcher. He was in it last year.
Josh Donaldson used to be a catcher.
Yeah. Gary Sanchez was in it in 2017. They actually had him face off in the first round versus Miami's Giancarlo Stanton, and he
Judge and
beat him.
Stanton, they're not in it. They don't care. They don't want to be in it too. Judge and Stanton.
Sorry, Gary Sanchez versus Stanton. Gary Sanchez beat Stanton in 2017 to advance, then lost to Miguelson. No. Todd Frazier, Stanton, Seager, Mark Trumbo. Remember him?
Oh,
Anthony,
definitely.
Jack Peterson.
Of course you do, because he was an Oriole, for sure.
For 1 year.
He was on a lot of teams, I think.
Yes.
The interesting thing
I
is,
mean, 35 homers. There's no way. There's no way. He only has 17, and he only has a few seconds. He doesn't get it. He's half.
I'm going back year by year looking for any other. Oh, Brandon Inge was in 2019. He was a catcher, third baseman for Detroit. So there've been 2 catchers before this guy. Joe Mauer was in the same year. That's 3. You know how many home runs Brandon Inge had? The one time he was invited, he had 0 home runs. It's kind of sad.
Are you kidding?
No, I'm not kidding.
What happened?
He didn't hit any home runs.
Why did he get invited?
How could he possibly hit no home runs?
That's what he had.
Well, they have like their dad pitching to him and stuff.
Yeah, his dad's got a mean curveball.
Ozzie Virgil.
I guess so.
Middleton.
I'm just going through looking at for catchers. Alex Rios, Vlad Guerrero won it in
Ivan Rodriguez.
2007.
Why does he get another minute? Oh, they get 1 minute, then they have a timeout, and then they get another minute? Is that how it works?
Well, no, you can call timeout whenever you want. You can call it early, late, whatever. But they get another minute. If they hit like 450-foot home runs or something like that, they get another minute at the end of bonus time. Yeah, I think that might be it.
25 seconds. He's only at 21. 23. 24. Where are you? Are you watching the same time as I am?
I was looking at this.
25 now. 26.
Wow, they don't have the.
27.
I'm at 20 right now.
Oh, I'm at 20. Yeah, he's out. He did 27. I'm really a spoiler tonight. Spoiling it for you.
Ivan Rodriguez was in it. You know how many home runs he hit in 2000?
A lot. No.
One. Which is better than Brandon Inge.
What? I've never heard of this. How do you do that bad? How do you do that bad if you're getting in the home run derby? You must not have.
You like that thing. Like I was on a, I do trivia, and I was on a show once, and
you couldn't take the pressure, so you.
I kind of blanked. I did real well in the first set, but the second set is like I misheard a question, and boy, I did poorly.
You got stage fright.
Carlton Fisk participated in 1985. Ozzie Virgil Jr. in 87.
BJ
Pendleton
Surhoff
in 89.
I guess it used to be a bigger thing, just not of recently.
Piazza in 93 and 94.
Yeah, Piazza, of course. Just
Bobby Lopez, 98. Irod Sanchez.
But he's the first catcher to actually participate in like 19 years. Well, no. What year was that? Yeah, it was 2001.
Did Joe Mauer play in it?
That was the Mauer. Mauer and Inge were in the same year. They had 2 catchers that year. Inge.
Soto's going up next.
Oh, sorry. Gary Sanchez was in the one 2017. So, but yeah, like in the last 20 years, there's been one other catcher. Best.
Is this a cartoon? It looks like a cartoon.
I'm watching a different show than you are.
Looks like a video game. Maybe this TV has too much saturation in the color.
Yeah.
Okay, let's make it a bet. How many do you think he'll get? I'm going to say that he gets 31 homers.
That's a nice number. I have a feeling like he's going to put up a really big number because he's facing Ohtani. But man, 34 is really high. Let's say 10, 10, 10. All right, I'll go 29.
Okay, Eddie, how many for you? And Samantha, how many for her? Juan Soto.
24. Samantha's doing homework or something.
Okay.
I'm drawing.
Oh, she's drawing.
Cool.
That'd be kind of cool if they would let you do that. But
What?
Oh, they are doing that.
What are they doing?
Oh, it'd be nice if like you get like 3 or 4 swings before they start the time. Like start now. Well, no, he's at 2, according to my thing.
7. I got him at 7.
He's 3 ahead of Otani. Look, you guys took a quick break. I'm gonna step away for a second. I'm gonna be back by the time Otani gets here, so I'll be back
Okay.
in 3 or 4 minutes.
Okay.
Okay.
He's taking a break already. He's only been hitting for 15 seconds. Right? He's got 9 home runs already. Why is he taking a break already? That's pretty soon. I think he's got 1 minute and 45 seconds left.
I don't know. Just collecting his thoughts, I guess.
Everybody's hugging him. How many do you think Otani will hit?
Oh, let's say 40.
Holy moly, dude. So you think Otani's going to win?
Yeah, that's who I predicted.
How can you go against Trey Mancini? He's the Oriole. I know. I mean, Otani's fun to root for. He really is.
It's hard.
Especially,
against Mancini, but
if you think he's a better hitter, then you have to go with your brain, not your fandom. Right, Eddie?
I guess, yeah, that's true.
Okay.
Oh,
11. 12. 13. 14. 15. 'Wow, he's going so fast. 16. 17, dude. 18. 'Otani. What a cool, I mean, he's just having the time of his life doing this. 'Otani.
I would think so, yes. He's
Hey, Douglas.
18.
Yeah.
Otani will beat that. That's the lowest tonight, isn't it?
I don't know. Yeah, look, he's up now. Otani. No, Soto has another minute left.
So they probably get another. He might get.
Wait, I don't know. I don't know if he does or not.
He didn't get the bonus, huh?
yeah,
I
he's
don't-
got a bonus.
It does look like he does have a bonus, but Otani is up there now.
No, Soto should be up.
Yeah, I would think so. I think so.
You guys you're gonna see Otani about 20 seconds ahead of me.
I know.
Should I switch over to the other side?
No, I like to see how far they go. So you have to stay there to tell us. Soto's going back out there.
That's why I was on this one. I was thinking to myself, going, they show some good stats.
But he still has a minute, it says.
1
Oh.
minute. It took him 2 minutes to hit 18. I doubt he breaks 30.
Here's Kyle Schwarber. I mean, I know he's hurt. Do you have any idea how serious that injury is? Schwarber was cut in the league.
He's going to be out for 6 weeks.
He was cut in the league that I'm in.
He was?
Yeah.
I'm holding on to him.
I would pick him up. Can you put him on the injured list or what? Obviously not.
No, it's a 30-man roster. There's no injured list.
I would love to see this guy's injured players that he's kept. He's going to get rid of Schwarber.
I'll go look it up.
Okay.
Schwarber. I mean, I'm of the thinking, if you have a guy that's out for a long time, I sometimes will just cut him to get it over with rather than screw with it for a number of years, a number of weeks.
There's some players that are worth keeping, though, because their stats are so good that, and Schwarber might be that guy, but maybe the guy feels like he got everything he could out of Schwarber already.
He probably got more than he was expecting out of him.
Yeah.
I was able to pick up Garrett Cooper, and he's done pretty good for me since Schwarber got injured.
Fine, and where is he here? There he is. This is his team. Okay. Wow, he's got a boatload of pitchers. That's what he's doing. He's got almost no. He's got 2 catchers which we're required to have. He's got 2 first basemen with corner infield, and then he's got 5 outfielders, which is the exact minimum. Sorry. His only backup hitter right now is Alec Boehm. That's it. Everyone else
And he's got COVID, so what the hell?
is starting. And his pitchers are Ross Stripling, Tony Gonsolin, Mike Minor, TJ Antone, Clayton Kershaw, Wade Miley, Amir Garrett, Frankie Montas, Kendall Graveman, Sonny Gray, Luis Garcia, Paul Sewald, Anthony Bender, Craig Kimbrell, and Ryan Yarbrough.
Dang.
A lot of relievers.
A lot of pitching, dude.
What?
Wow. He's got a ton of pitchers.
And it's weekly lineup, so you only get to start 9. And I always think of that, like, you have to come up with your strategy, and you're either going to go with – most teams are going to go with 7 starters, 2 relievers. You can go with 3 relievers once in a while to kind of get an edge on that, but it's going to throw you behind on strikeouts. But you really can't – who cares if you start 5 relievers, it's going to put you so far behind in wins and strikeouts that even if you were to win saves, it would be a Pyrrhic victory. It would be a victory.
ERA and whip.
What?
ERA and whip you get from those closers.
But even that, you don't get that much of it because they don't pitch that many innings. I mean, if you went all closers, but you still got to get to 1,000. And I think to get to 1,000 innings pitched, you have to go with at least 5 pitchers.
Everybody loves Otani, dude. There's no question.
It's hard not to like the guy.
Yeah, he's likable. That's true.
I mean, the first thing that he did was, he signed with the Angels, which we all kind of ticked off at that. But if he had waited another year, he could have negotiated his own contract. But he's like, I want to play baseball. And so he came in as a rookie under rookie rules, 6 years of control.
They usually make him spend more time before they let up the contracts. They usually make him play more time.
Well, he came over as a 22-year-old, but if he came as a 23-year-old under international rules, he could have negotiated a straight contract with any team he wanted.
Don't they have to spend like 10 years playing before they let him out of the contract?
Well, the thing is, but if you're an older international free agent, you're not under those rules. Like Lourdes Gurriel, he's not under the 6-year control thing because he came over old enough. Same with his brother, came over old enough. Like they got to negotiate a straight contract. Otani, had he sat out one more year, he could have negotiated a contract with them, but instead
As
he
a
had,
So he
Yeah.
doesn't have to go through arbitration on all this.
he does because he chose to play instead of
He
waiting.
does.
Which
But one more year, he wouldn't have had to go through any of that.
Mhm.
That's pretty
Yep.
interesting.
But I mean, the other side of the coin is, he was playing for the Ham Fighters, and he was making a pretty good sum of money over there for. He was making just under $2 million a year.
He hasn't hit any home runs yet.
I got none on my side, but the time just started.
220.
He hasn't had any home runs. 220.
Maybe you ought to take a timeout.
There's
That's what he
one.
said.
He got one. He just hit 2. 3.
Oh, I saw that one. It's,
Boy, that would be the worst thing is him to not even show. Yeah, I'm sitting here. He hasn't had a home run yet at 230.
He's still at 1. I thought the other one went out, but it did not go out. He'll start getting the hang of it, just like Mancini. 1 minute and 40 seconds left, and he's only at 1 homer.
He had to
2.
take it-
call timeout.
2.
He should call. He should have called time out at 2 minutes.
No, he's not at 3 now. He's got to get acclimated, dude. He's got to get in the groove. He only has a minute left.
Wow.
4 homers.
Guess he
Well,
won't hit 40.
I guess
5.
we can make fun of Ed Heckman's pick for this guy to win. Who picks this guy with his one home
Right.
run?
Okay, he called timeout. And he's got
2.
5 homers.
How much time has he got?
1 minute and 20 seconds.
He only got. He probably hasn't qualified for extra time yet.
Plus 30 seconds
You
bonus.
never know. He hits the ball hella hard, dude, when he does get it.
18-degree angle on that one. 23 on that one. Didn't make it.
Well, how far
Oh.
is he hitting it?
No, number 5 did make it. 23-degree angle. And he calls time out at 120.
So he's been out there for 1 minute and 40 seconds, right?
Yep.
Here he goes. Okay,
Gotta suck it up here. This is do or die time, showtime.
there's 1. 6.
As average home run distance was 419 feet on the front end.
He just hit 7.
Blame his pitcher, I guess.
There's 8. Okay, I think that's 9. 10.
He just didn't get the stride in there.
Come on, pitch it right, fool. There's 10. Oh, he's got 10. He's got 20 seconds left. That's horrible. There's 11.
I'm at 8.
12.
I was probably gonna get out of here at 9.
13. He just hit 13. He's only got 10 seconds. Come on, dude. 14. There's 14. 15. Yeah, 15.
That's how Brandon Inge got 0. Is that in the old thing you got 10? You got 10 swings. At 10 swings, Ohtani was at 1, right? I mean,
He still has a minute left now. He's get 2 bonus. A minute to hit.
it's 10 home runs.
How many
Soto only had 22. So he's got a 30-second bonus. So he's got,
1 minute. He's got 1 minute of bonus, Ohtani.
so he needs to hit. This thing says 30 seconds, but he's hit 8 home. He's hit at least 7 to do it. At least 6 to do a tie, which is 1 every 5 seconds, which is doable. But he's got to be on it,
They're all standing up for him. They're just excited to see him. They love him. He needs to hit 10, right?
He's at 16. He's at 22 to tie, 23 to win.
There's one. There's two. He just hit 2 already. Okay, he's at 18. 19.
I want him to pass. I want him to win.
Oh,
The 300.
20.
The three hardest hit home runs tonight were all by Ohtani. 117. Three of them.
They are? They're all by Ohtani? The hardest hit balls? He's at 20. He's got 20 seconds.
Needs 2 more.
He just hit 1.
1 more.
Nope, it didn't go out. That didn't go out. Come on, dude, you're going to lose. He needs 3 more. There's 1. Okay, he's at 21. 22.
That's enough for a tie, which means I'll have
If he can get...
that swing off.
Oh, did it go out? I think it did. I think it went out. I think he fucking won, dude. Eddie, I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Eddie. I don't mean to curse. Okay, 22. That's all he got. 22. So
Yeah, I think they have like a 5-pitch swing off or something like that. There's some
1 minute.
there's a tiebreaker thing.
I think it's 1 minute. Wait, does he get another bonus? I just saw another 1 minute bonus pop up for him. Is that possible?
I don't know. I don't actually know the rules because I was doing this and I didn't listen to them talk about it. But
Oh my goodness. So he's hit the hardest ones. He's hit the furthest.
yep,
I'm not surprised at that.
his average distance on this home run tonight is 457 average. But yeah, it shows 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 8. He didn't get a home run until his 10th swing.
3 minutes. Okay, bonus time. You get that. And then the tiebreaker is 1 minute. No stopping the clock. If it's still tied after 1 minute, then they do a swing off with 3 swings per batter.
I wonder if Soto goes first in the swing off,
He is.
because that would be the best strategy for him is to break Ohtani's stride.
He needs a rest. Don't you think? It's much harder than it seems.
Yeah, have you ever gone to a batting cage as a full-grown adult? It's like you think. Like, I remember going as a kid and being there all day. The full-grown adult, at around 50 swings, I'm tired.
Dude, my sides are hurting and stuff.
Yeah, it's like I could do this all day. They got this batting cage not far from me in my neighborhood where they got a pretty good hot dog and sub shop next to it where you can get a beer. What's it called? Suds and anyway, yeah, but you can't do that
It's a
all day long.
laundromat with beer.
What?
It's a laundromat with beer.
No, it's a batting cage that has a bar.
Oh,
It's
what does it
kind
call
of
it?
it's kind of in a it's kind of run down an old school batting cage stuff, not the high technology stuff you do nowadays. It's not like where you would go if you're a high school guy, but they got like a putt golf course next to it. It's one of
Okay,
those.
so Juan Soto's hit 1 now. 1 for him. 30 seconds left. He's hit 1 out.
Whoever wins this faces Alonso, and is 35.
Soto can't hit it out, but I think they're what.
Sorry, the longest home run tonight was 520 by Juan Soto. The
Oh,
second longest was 518 by Trevor Story, 514 by Pete
oh,
Alonso.
there's one. He's hit 3 now. 3, 4. Okay, he's at 26. And he's got 5 seconds. 27. Ooh, dang. Okay, so he's at 27. 28. That means he hit 5 or 6. He hit 6 in this span. Do you think Ohtani will do it?
My delay sucks.
Yeah, no, I love being the spoiler too. It's fun for me. I like to be the guy that gets to tell you what's going on.
Oppo, huh? At the end there.
Are you done yet? Is Soto done yet?
28.
That's all he gets.
That's doable
20
for
seconds.
Otani. And
No
the cool
problem.
thing is, if Otani advances, then he gets to face Alonso, which that's probably the marquee matchup that everyone wanted. Matt Hooper showed up tonight. How you doing, Matt?
Hey, Matt Hooper.
These pitchers said, "Where's Harper's dad?"
Where's Harper?
I don't know. He's not here. It's thing. I actually kind of thought that, like, they showed who was pitching everybody, and like everyone's kind of got this long backstory with their guy, but Otani's pitcher is like the bullpen coach of the Angels.
Right.
He's known for like 3 years.
I saw that.
It's like you kind of. I mean, there's the good old days when the guy used to bring like his best friend from high school to throw for him.
Yeah, or his brother or dad.
But there's little doubt that he's gotten the fewest pitches from the guy who threw to him out of anybody in that grouping. The only guy that actually picked up that like brought their college coach was Mancini. Brought his college coach. Everyone else was some guy they've been working with in the pros.
Okay, he's hitting them out, dude. He's hitting them out. Let me tell you that. He's already at 26. And he's got 30 seconds.
Well, I said 29.
26. Oh, there it goes. 27. He needs one more. Bam. Did it go out? 28. He's at 28. Oh, it didn't go. He's got 7 seconds, you guys. He's gone. Come on, buddy. It's out. He did it. It's out. 29.
That's my number. I said 29, right?
Did he get 29? He might not have gotten it, dude. He might not have gotten it. 28. It's 28. It still says 28. They're tied, so they get 3 pitches each. How fun is this? I've never seen it be like this, tied like this. Okay? I've never seen it twice tied. Have you guys?
I think in the old system, ties were more common.
I don't
But
really know.
In this new system, I don't think they've gone.
I've not really watched it too much in the past. This is the first night I've really been watching it or trying to.
You're doing a good job. Well,
I'm glad you showed up tonight, Ed, because I feel a lot less dumb talking to somebody else than talking to myself for an hour. I'm getting better at talking to myself.
Were you are you a little behind, Ed? Are you up at the are you
I must be.
Tied again. So much for my 29. Now we're getting maybe your 34 gets it. No, the most you can get is 3, right?
You get 3 pitches. So yeah.
I'm watching on ESPN HD.
So yeah, HD would be a little bit of delay a couple seconds because of the processing of HD.
Well, we just have it on regular ESPN.
But I'm on ESPN2, and they're behind on purpose because of they want to process some numbers.
The StatCast, yeah.
They're not behind.
Okay,
they're behind more than you think. Like they're behind like 30, 40 seconds.
Soto's going up right now. He's going to get 3 pitches. Oh, come on, you wait. So he didn't swing. What does that mean? That's a wasted.
I think you get it's 3 swings.
3 swings. Okay, 3 swings.
So
it went out.
That's what you're supposed to do is wait for the pitch you want.
His
that was the old school way.
Are you seeing it? You must be caught up right now. You're seeing it too.
No, I'm not caught up.
Oh, he hit it out. Soto did.
Okay. In the old, 15 years ago, there was a lot of taking pitches back in those days.
I remember that now. Yes, you're right. There it goes. It went out. He's going to be 3 for 3. Soto, 2 for 3 so far.
Soto is gonna crush the Giant. There's his first one. Back. No, just kidding.
What happens if they're tied again at 3?
They do it again.
So it basically comes down to stamina, which nobody has any of. Why did he just throw that?
I mean, I don't care how good you are as a hitter. To hit 3 home runs on 3 pitches is pretty impressive. That second one's a no-doubter. First one was a little bit popped up.
Who's throwing to Soto? Is that Scherzer? It's gone, dude. He just hit it out. 3 out of 3.
Wow. That's going to be the end of Ohtani.
I don't think so. I bet you Ohtani does it too. Go Ohtani. Because you don't have to swing if you don't like the pitch.
Oh, look at that pitch. That pitch went behind him.
Yeah, that was an accident.
Because he doesn't have any of that sticky stuff. Spider tack. Soto
These
has
young kids, they're so excited. They're just so full of energy, these young guys. They really are.
Well, look at how excited the pitcher is. Like, I was
They're
able to
just
give you
excited.
3 home runs on 3 pitches. That's amazing. Do.
Okay, here he goes. Otani's having the time of his life. How fun for him.
I don't want to hear you being disappointed before me. I'm gonna switch over to ESPN 1.
Should I start preparing myself for disappointment right now? Because I'm now a
Well, the
fan
thing
of
about it
Ohtani.
is, like, if he misses one, everyone's gonna go, "Oh."
If he misses one, then it's over.
Yep.
He's not going to though. Do not hit it if it's not right. Oh shit! It didn't go out. It's over. How quickly? It's okay though. He gets to do so much this year. He gets like 3 All-Star games in 1. They're changing the rules for him. You said that's crazy.
Well, I mean, it's just an exhibition game. I sort of get the thing, but I was just thinking, like, having a pinch hitting spot is pretty good in the All-Star game. The DH kind of ruins not having, because you always get that weird thing where you wind up having like Jared Walsh pinch hit for Marcus Semien. You're like, I think I'd rather have Semien hit. I don't know. You know what I mean? But if you had an actual pitcher, say every 3 or 4 runs through, you can get another player in.
They walked
Juan Soto is now the most hated man in baseball.
yesterday in a game with the Dodgers. Somebody walked they walked a hitter to get to Muncy, who then promptly hit the ball out of the park. Who bats in front of Muncy? Somebody good.
Munson usually bats second. It's probably Betts. Mookie Betts. They walked
It
Betts.
was Betts, exactly. They walked Betts to get to Muncy.
I can see that. I mean,
But
it's Betts.
Muncy's having a better season than Betts.
Yeah. Juan Soto.
Think about the first round. Think about how. Let's think about the top 5 players that we drafted, including Mookie Betts, Trout, Tatis, Soto, Freeman. No, wait, Freeman wasn't probably there.
It was Soto, Tatis. Sorry, it was Soto, Betts, Trout, Tatis, Acuna, and Acuna's done.
Trout, Acuna, even Tatis has spent some time out. But think of so many injuries in the first round. Juan Soto's not been good. Now, even if you go later into the first round, besides those.
Well, the next guys that would come up in my mind would be at least one of the pitchers, probably DeGrom and Cole. The other guys that would be in that, like Jose Ramirez. Let me pull it up and find out who the guys were. I know that I disagree with people a lot, so I might be talking from my perspective versus the general perspective, right?
Yeah, who else was drafted in the first round? Bauer was drafted pretty high.
So here we go. This is NFBC. Let's cut it off. Got to cut it off. Got to backdate it to April 1st.
So you got Scherzer, Bieber, Walker Buehler, maybe? I don't know. Bieber's up there. I know that.
Because they have a number of drafts that happened since then. So here it goes. 1 was Acuna, 2 Tatis, 3 Soto, 4 Betts, 5 DeGrom, 6 Trout, 7 Cole, 8 Trey Turner. That's the name we forgot.
He's doing great.
He's doing fine. He actually he really should be kind of talked up in that high level thing because he can hit 20 home runs, but he can also steal 40 bases, and that's going to be as good as what the other guys do. And his
I think
batting
he's
average
having
is
a
pretty
great
good.
season.
Then Shane Bieber, Jose Ramirez. That's your 11. That's your top 10, and I think that is probably the top 10. And then you got 3 pitchers in there, and then it starts getting a little bit uglier. Christian Yelich at 11, Trevor Story at 12, Freddie Freeman at 13, Trevor Bauer at 14.
What? So like 9 of those 14, dude, are completely out for the season.
Cody Bellinger at 15. That would be the first.
He's horrible. Round. He might as well be out. He's batting 180 or something.
Well, isn't he still injured? Or he just came back recently?
Bellinger's horrible this year.
Yeah, I saw somebody in one of my leagues cut Luke Voigt because he's not been that good. I thought about picking up, and I didn't do it because I don't need a first baseman. But somebody picked him up. Then you got Yu Darvish at 16, Bryce Harper at 17, Lucas Giolito at 18, Francisco Lindor at 19, Manny Machado at 20, Walker Buehler at 21, Aaron Nola at 22, Bo Bichette at 23, Adalberto Mondesi at 24, DJ LeMahieu at 25, Max Scherzer at 26, Luis Castillo at 27, Corey Seager at 28, Jack Flaherty at 29, Xander Bogaerts at 30. That's your first 2 rounds. A lot of people.
See, I took Trevor Story at the 12th pick. And then in the second round, I took Trevor Bauer.
And then the third round, you took Trevor Rogers. Fourth round, Trevor Noah. How many Trevors are left? Get all the Trevors.
Trevor Larnach.
Trevor Larnach. That's we're having a George Hudson moment. Let's name all the Trevors.
Yes, Trevors. Okay. There's another pitcher, Trevor Williams.
There's Trevor
Williams. Trevor. That's all the Trevors. Trevor McWilliams. Trevor somebody.
I don't.
Old closer. Trevor
Hoffman.
Maybe, yes, Trevor Hoffman.
Trevor Story, Trevor Bauer, Trevor Cahill? Yeah. Is that the right name? Trevor Cahill? Yeah, that is that guy.
Trevor Cahill, good one. Okay.
Trevor Rogers, Trevor Richard. Oh, how about Trevor Rosenthal? There's another one.
Yep, Trevor Rosen, another closer. Okay, so what are we rolling with? We have now Mancini going against what? Who? Does Mancini still get?
Mancini's advanced. He's going against. It's not Alonso. It's the other guy that advanced. Who's the other guy that advanced? It's Alonso versus Soto.
Alonso. Who was the first guy that went? Who was the first one?
Mancini. Mancini was first.
Yeah, and then he went against Olsen.
Who was the second round? He beat Olsen.
The catcher went up against someone. Alonso. It was Pedro.
Pedro Severino?
No. Who's the catcher that just played? Is that who just Salvador Perez? Okay. I'm just making shit up.
21. That's all we're doing. We're just having a good time watching the game. better than watching it by yourself, which I normally do.
Here comes a Yankee.
I'd probably do some rewriting.
Oh no,
2021. It's Story,
Olsen, Alonso, and Soto.
So Story made it.
Did he? He's up now.
Is that what you're saying?
He has to. He's up now, so he must have.
That's my pick.
That's usually a good sign that they made it through, right?
If they're still batting,
he's batting now. 3 minutes.
Apparently, 64% of his home runs were pulled. 36% were of these home runs yet tonight.
So Gallo didn't make it.
Yep.
Did Gallo make it?
No. If Story
and Gallo win against each other. He's only at 2.
Bracket. I think they get less time in the second round, so the numbers will be less.
3 minutes. He's getting 3 minutes right now.
Yeah, Story beat Gallo 20-19.
He only has 2, you guys.
Juan Soto did. Matt Hooper said he's going back to wrestling.
Why is he going to wrestling?
Well, he's going to watch wrestling.
It can't be better than this. Matt Hooper. One day Matt Hooper is going to come to chat and he's going to be like, I'm having a great day today. Everything's wonderful today.
That's got to be a homer.
He's got 5, 6. 6. Nope, 5. He's got a timeout going now. I kind of want him to win at home. It would be nice to see him win at Colorado. But it would be nice to see.
I was just thinking about it. Remember how important Troy Tulowitzki was to your fantasy leagues, and how he left Troy Tulowitzki, and then he left Colorado and he became nothing, like almost immediately.
They didn't treat him very nice. But yes, you're right. He did. That seems to be the case when you leave Coors.
Well, the problem with Story was that he was always injured a lot, but you could be injured a lot, play 110 games in Coors Field, and still have pretty rocking numbers.
Dude, Trevor Story's been monster the past couple, maybe 4 or 5 seasons straight now.
He's been my starting shortstop on my dynasty league for pretty much the entire existence of it.
He could be, dude. He's very consistent.
Can I do what?
Hang this up after your video call.
You want me to hang this up? Okay.
Yeah, after your video call, like maybe on the cabinets or something.
If you need to go, Ed, we understand. We'll just sit here talking. I'll probably go out and have a smoke.
Let's go hang it up now.
Okay.
Oh, you're
Well, that's okay.
6.
I just didn't want to run.
There's a minute left. You only get 7.
And you also need to take.
I guess he's at 8 now, maybe.
What?
8. Okay, he's at 9. No, 8.
They're telling me that the upcoming game on ESPN are Red Sox versus Yankees.
You could really tell he's getting tired, dude. He's not
I'm tired
hitting
of seeing that.
Red
If I
Sox
never
Yankees.
see the Red Sox Yankees games in my life, I'll be okay.
9.
Wire would right on it. So, man, alive.
10.
He has a 30-second bonus.
Okay, he only has 10 seconds.
Oh, no, he doesn't. He doesn't get the bonus.
11. He's got 11. He could get 12 if he's really good. Nope, 11. 10? He only got 10. It's hard to tell where that ball is going.
Yeah, the other thing is, in the old days, the rule was you had to wait till the ball hit the ground. But then Bryce Harper's dad just kept pitching him. Now they don't really care. So you got to watch things simultaneously. The ball's still in the air when the next one's hit. Yeah, Mancini's going to beat this because Mancini will get the 30-second bonus. He didn't get it.
Story gets 30. Story's got 30 up there. He's drinking some water and then going back up there. I don't believe that baseball is dying, dude. I think it's popular enough. People think that it's not popular, but it's.
If you listen to them talk about every sport, they talk about it dying. Like even football it's got serious issues. Now, it's still got tons and tons and tons of fans, but it has less fans than it had 5 years ago.
Ooh, baseball?
Football.
I think so too, because people they're not pleased about the CTE stuff. You know what I mean?
That's a big thing. Like I work with kids a lot with Maitland Little League.
Their parents will go and play.
It's like one kid I know plays football. One kid in the entire league.
Mm-hmm. Okay, here we go. Story's got 12 still, and that's it. He already did his bonus. He didn't get any.
I didn't get a bonus.
Oh, he did get 2.
Did.
I think he only had 10. Maybe. Whatever, he has 12 now. And Mancini's up. Go Mancini.
I did go through the Major League Baseball draft, and I was a bit. Usually, the people around where I live, we do really well in the draft. There's literally one kid from Central Florida got drafted in the whole thing. One kid, and here's a kid that played for UCF who didn't pitch this year because he had Tommy John surgery.
And he still got drafted?
The guy was sitting comfortably at 99 last time I saw him as a sophomore.
Well, I got some math.
He was drafted
in bed.
He was drafted in the 6th round by the Astros.
You have to be rooting in your heart for Mancini. You have to, Eddie.
Definitely. So what, he has 3 minutes?
He's got two more minutes. I think 2 minutes. I'm not sure. Maybe 3. I can't remember now. I'll tell you. 3 minutes. Come on, buddy.
Story had, 12 home runs then?
Trey Mancini's grade chart is 20% pull, 20% oppo, 60% in the middle, just evenly balanced.
Okay, he's got 3. Come on, dude. Oh. Who's pitching to him?
He's got his coach. He's the pitching or the hitting coach from Notre Dame High School, Notre Dame College.
Very nice. How nice.
He's the one guy who's not a pro.
Can you imagine what an honor that would be to get it, for him to ask you, like, to come and? Okay, he's got 4.
I imagine, I can't quote anything and I didn't read any of this thing, but I mean, you can't go to Notre Dame without getting some exposure to Catholicism and the faith, and I imagine going through a cancer scare, his faith probably means something to him. You know, a cancer recovery, mind you, and
it's a lot of mental stuff going on there too, for sure. So he's at 8 now, and I hope that he wins.
I bet this guy pitching to him was more important to his recovery than we know. That's all I'm saying.
He has a great family. He's got a great girlfriend too. He's got a lot of support. Mancini.
He definitely does.
You know, I saw this story about Josh Donaldson. I learned about Josh Donaldson recently. Like, just about his whole life. Like, his dad was in jail by the time he was 6 years old. His uncle passed away. Well, his uncle became like his dad mentor type guy, and then he passed away when Donaldson was really young. So Him and his mom's just feisty, dude. Both of these two are feisty, so feisty.
I've
But
been
they
a fan of
told him he couldn't-
Donaldson since he was a Cub.
Oh, yeah, he was a catcher, right?
Yeah.
He was feisty then too.
Yep.
I had no idea how feisty this guy is.
I feel bad because now he's got that part of his career where he irritates you because he's always hurt, and he's not
You
hurt.
shouldn't draft him anymore then, because you don't want to dislike him for that. Everybody
Well,
gets
it's just irritating that I almost prefer guys to go on the IL because it's like done. Like it hurt to have Ronald Acuna go out for the year, but it was like, okay, press 2 buttons. Now I move on with my life.
Okay, there he's at 10 right now. He's got a minute left and he needs to get more. Go. Oh, come on. Barely. 11. He's got 45 seconds. He's going to win, dude. He's going to win. Come on, buddy. 35 seconds. I think he's getting tired. This is when it. Oh, there it goes. 12. Come on, dude. Another one. That's 13. Go, Mancini. He's about to. Look at him go, dude.
I have him at 13 with 23 seconds.
So he didn't finish his time, though. What does that mean? So
Well, once you
because he already won,
got past Story, conserve your energy.
now he moves on to the forward.
Yep. Because they start over.
So you got Soto now, Soto and Mancini, Soto and Mancini, and who will then now?
No, it's Soto and Alonso. That's the next round. That's the next part of this round.
And Mancini and who?
Mancini will go against the winner of Soto Alonso.
Oh, so now there was only 4 left.
Mm-hmm.
Now there's 3. Because now we get to see Soto against Alonso, or no?
Yeah, that's the next one up, and that's probably. I mean, Alonso's been the big hitter so far tonight.
So what, dude? Soto was against Ohtani too, right?
Well, it would be a thing if Soto went through and knocked out Ohtani, then knocked out last year's winner, and then knocked out the guy that had cancer. That would be like a story.
That would be horrible, right? Poor Soto. He doesn't have anything again. He has nothing going for him.
What is that? Oh, a camera of some sort. Thanks for coming on, Andrea. I like watching this stuff.
I know you like to do the play-by-play too of it.
I can talk my friends into going out to see the All-Star game, but I can't talk them into this. You know,
what would I do? Lenny would be snoring. He's already snoring right now.
That's what I was figuring. It's like you're going to watch this anyway.
Yes. Well, we went and had dinner with Mark and his girlfriend, and Lenny said we have to be back by 8 o'clock. So then I said, well, then I could do the roundtable. Then we're going to be back by 8. So,
Where are you staying at?
we're just at the Clarion Hotel up in Oswego, New York, right by the Canada border. Pretty much by Niagara Falls. It's just a little college town, really.
What school is up there?
SUNY Oswego.
I don't know.
Oswego State, I think, it's a state school. This is right north of Syracuse.
Yeah, I was up there once, but it was like 29, 30 years ago.
Oswego was probably a brand new school then. If it even was, maybe it wasn't even a school then. I don't know for sure.
Well, I went to around Niagara Falls to the bridge to Canada. I used to do my internship in college. You know, how long that was for a company that worked for Westinghouse, and Westinghouse had a plant in Hamilton, and I would wind up going to. It was amazing how you could make $8 an hour and yet still travel the world. Like I'm making no money, but I'm going to these meetings in many countries. You guys are doing something wrong.
Well, somebody's paying for your travel, right?
Yeah, that was the cool part about it. I was making $8 an hour.
But someone else was paying for travel on top of the $8,
Yeah,
right?
yeah. Well, I mean, yeah, they gave me a $25 per diem, unless it was like there was more money if I was eating with a client. You know what I mean?
Of
So like,
course there is more money. That's definitely.
but
What do
it
you?
was
So, were you just when you have a client? You mean you were doing an intern?
I was in an internship. I was doing logistics. I was I was the guy that we would do the math on things, and so the reason why that one comes up is that we were moving things that were crazy big. Like I remember that one because we had to get a permission from like the government of Canada to put a truck that weighed 600,000 pounds on that bridge crossing into Canada, and so we had to do it at a certain time and like and they knew that it was going to damage the bridge a little bit, but they thought it was a good idea that the power plant in Canada stayed open, so they were willing to take the risk. That was a bit of a thing, but that we did the logistics for Westinghouse, which they do turbines and huge things.
Did you see that Virgin Galactic went to space yesterday, dude? On a manned spaceship. That's amazing, right? Is that amazing for you guys?
I don't know yet. It's like I'm wondering where private thing where it goes. Where like I understood the moon travel, and like in retrospect, it worked out better than we thought because so many things came from delving into the science of that, you know. But yeah, it's like I still like
you can't go that far. You can only go. Maybe they travel around like the space station does or whatever it is. But they're in orbit. Okay, that's what crazy to me.
No, this is. I think it's really cool. I like astronaut stuff, but this is the one thing at the back of my head. Right, there was a time when I would go with my girlfriend and we would just go driving for the sake of driving, and I haven't done that for like 20 years.
Okay.
It's like what a weird joyride that is. That's the thing in the back of my head. It's not saying I hate it. It's saying like I'm a little bit conflicted. I think the space travel is a monstrously wonderful thing, but unless something comes out of it other than, you're up, you're down.
Think of the view from there, dude. Think of the view.
That's still not enough. That's my joyride.
I can't even. I would be too scared. Don't even have the balls to do it. No way. I would never do it. I'm too scared, but I love space. I think it's so.
Oh yeah, I actually it's kind of strange because I used to guide people up mountains, climb mountains and stuff, and I do have a dread fear of heights. If you ever these people who would like, I'd get them up to the top of the mountain, and then like I'd be like at the very middle of the top. Like if I were to look over, I would feel like I'm gonna fall. I went to a shrink because I actually have fear of flying too, and I have a shrink that will give me if I ever really need to fly, he'll give me a Xanax. Two Xanax, one to get there, one to get back. And I was talking about him, and he said the thing that scares the hell out of me the most. The scariest thing that a therapist ever said to me was, "Do you know a lot of people have a fear of heights because they can imagine themselves flinging themselves off that building or that mountain." Like it's like he basically told me that I was thinking about killing myself and I didn't even know it. That was horrible.
I don't know, man. I would have to say that heights that's a real thing to be scared of.
Most things that people are afraid of are like it's okay to be scared of snakes. It really is.
What about being scared of an elevator? Because I'm starting to get scared in elevators lately.
That is a weird one.
I'm so scared of it getting stuck, and I don't know why. Like, what's the worst thing that could happen?
I was thinking it's more of like there's a thing that goes through people, the claustrophobia thing, like like being in closed spaces. I don't have that.
The older I get, the worse it gets, dude. Big time. I'm scared
the one that
to
gets
death.
me is that we do have this COVID thing, and people are generally pretty good about it and give people space, but like that feeling you get in an elevator when you get on there and there's one person next to you, and then like somebody runs. It grabs the door, and then two more people get on, and next thing you know, you're in this 10 by 10 box with 11 people.
I would never know. That's no way, dude.
It's like, let me off.
Yes. I will say that.
Like, that's the only spot where I've been confined with people in close quarters that aren't part of my personal germ culture.
People don't even care. They just all crowd into elevators and stuff. And I'm thinking,
Yeah.
if we got stuck like in this situation, it would be just a fucking nightmare. And that's even before COVID. It was before COVID.
Yeah, no,
You
people
worry
were
about the virus, but you worry about just.
Well, the point I'm making is that as bad as they were before, like I was hoping we would learn a little bit. Like I was hoping that like when I went to the store, the guy behind me wouldn't sit 6 inches behind me.
He's supposed to be backed up a little.
He doesn't have to go 6 feet, but maybe a foot and a half. Enough so that if I like yawn or something, I'm not punching him in the face.
So
But
this
no.
guy says that the Facebook user says that he's afraid that he might have to go to the bathroom in the elevator.
In an elevator?
That's what he's afraid of.
When I was young, I was in the hayloft in the barn on the farm, and I was throwing hay bales down, and my hand gloves got stuck with the bale, so I just went down with the bale and landed on the elevator and bounced off, but got right up and didn't get hurt.
Wait, so you were on top of the elevator?
He's talking
Well-
about like a grain elevator.
A grain
Right.
elevator.
Elevator that took the hay up to
Yeah.
the upper mow. So I landed on the elevator when I fell.
You're so lucky you didn't get hurt.
Yes, I am. I don't think my mother or father believed me when I told them I fell out of the hay mow.
They probably didn't. They probably didn't believe you. Because you should have been more afraid at that point, probably. You should have
Yeah, I
been
didn't like to go up there anymore, but that wasn't my choice.
Maybe they thought you were trying to get out of working.
I always tried to do that.
Every kid does. I think most people do. Anyway, so here's Soto going. Is this Soto?
I'm taking
Yes,
a little
Soto's
break away from the
batting.
TV. It's been 2
9
hours.
home runs
I'm gonna
with
smoke.
28 seconds.
You can narrate to me at this point. I'll be back in a second. But I'm hanging with you. We'll still talk.
Why bother watching it? Because I'm already ahead of your TV. He's at 10 now. 11 maybe?
What are you watching at all?
Nothing.
Soto
No.
now.
What's that?
Soto. He's at
Yeah,
11.
what channel are you watching? Or
I'm watching ESPN channel.
Yeah, I'm actually a little disappointed that Otani didn't go further.
Douglas
And-
is watching on StatCast.
Yeah, well, not this moment, but yeah, I'll be back in 10 minutes. I'm just talking to you guys.
Yeah, you're outside for the moment. There's Scherzer. That's Schwarber there too, next to Scherzer.
Looks like there's a new comment. Let's see what it says. Show.
Yes, my fear of elevators going pee. Yeah, I feel like he has to go to the restroom. So he's getting a 1 minute bonus. Soto's not messing around, right? I would be disappointed if I had him on my team.
Maybe that'll be his spark to, Acuna's gone. He wins the home run derby, and he goes to be the best player in the second half.
Have you ever seen anybody get better after the home run derby, though?
no.
No. I mean, there's a first for everything, but
I mean, they must have. But
it's
I'm thinking
usually
like
they're there because they had a great first half. So it's kind of like really
Yeah. I was thinking the National League tomorrow, we get to see them start 2 Pittsburgh Pirates because of the dominating run the Pirates are on this year.
the Pirates.
Yeah,
Yeah, they were my
Yeah.
team growing up in Western Pennsylvania.
They have 2 starters: Brian Reynolds in place of Chris Bryant and
And Frazier.
Adam Frazier.
So they have a great ballpark, though. You gotta love it, and the fans are good there. But
It's only a 3-day week of baseball too for us. Well, 4 for the New York Yankees, and there's one game on Thursday. So there's a lot of players this week that like, and you go to pick up like everyone is going to pick up Tristan McKenzie. He's
I
not
love
picked-
Gavin Sheets.
What?
Why isn't Gavin Sheets getting more love? I picked him up for $1 in labor in a mixed league.
You know, I actually I like the other guy. I like Berger better. I think that Berger is a real player. He got that broken leg, and it when he finally recovered, he was ready to play last year because he was the 11th. He was the 11th pick overall, and he had all the hype in the world. People said when he came up in that draft in 2017 that he was the best hitter, the best pure hitter in that group.
Soto hit 15.
He was the Keston Hura of that year.
What's up with Keston Hura? I just traded him. Now he's hitting.
Well, he had to hit better than he was before.
He's going to strike out 35% of the time.
I think he'll get that down into the lower 30s, but yeah, he's going to strike out a lot.
What's the difference? 30, 35? At some point it gets to be too much. And it doesn't matter if it's 35 or 30 because that's ridiculous. Either one of them. I guess it does matter if you are counting points. It matters.
Years ago, I played in an 8x8 league, which is stupid. And one of the things we counted was ground and double plays. And I had Chris Davis with a C on my team.
Oh,
and I used to look at him and go, I like his strikeouts because that means he's not hitting that double play. There's so many times that he came up with a guy on first and he strike out. And I'm like, yeah.
So the strikeout is better than a ground and a double play.
Ground and double play was one of the categories that would count against you. You know, if you want, if you had more ground and double plays, that was one of the 8 categories. It's like, yeah, that was in those like it was in those formative kind of years where you're trying to figure out what you're doing, and things had just moved to computers. And a couple of years ago, when you could do all these different things that you never could do before.
What qualified hitter do you think has the most ground into double plays? I think of Hosmer when I think of this type of player.
I bet it's Miguel Cabrera.
Why? Just because of sheer volume of hits?
Well, because he plays all the time. He's slow as hell, and he actually makes good contact. So it's always something like that. Like the guy that has the most ground double plays usually isn't a lousy player. I mean, not that Cabrera is great or anything, but like for years and years and years, when Albert Pujols was at his finest, he would lead the league every year in ground double plays.
But maybe that's just because he led the league by far in at bats, maybe.
And no, he had a good number of bats, but there are a lot of guys in that category. It's a combination of the fact
that cause a ground into double play. It would be soft contact. It would be infield hits. It would be tap.
Well, actually, it's one of those situations where hard contact doesn't help you. If it gets through, it's fine. But the harder you hit it to the shortstop, the easier the double play is.
So it would have to be ground ball, soft contact, soft ground balls. Lots of ground balls, right?
Well, no, but hard ground balls hit in the vicinity of players hurt. It's easier to turn a double play when the ball gets to you quickly. When it gets to you slowly, it's harder.
That's true.
You know.
That's true. Okay, that's true. So soft contact doesn't matter.
Yeah, it's actually hard contact hurts because it gives them more time. And then being a little slow.
The chances of them getting it is much lower though if it's hard. The harder it's hit.
That is true. That is true. But nowadays even before the mass throw shifts that we did have, players used to know the shortstop wouldn't go, I'm going to take 4 steps to the right because I'm facing pull holes, that kind of thing. You know what I mean? You know, there was the minor shifting that we used to do before the computers did all the number crunching for us.
I wonder, when it's a double play, that means that somebody's on base. So you have runners, and that means you would have runners on base.
Yeah, that's the other thing you need. You'd have a good enough team that there's somebody on base in front of you, which.
And maybe you don't run so fast. Maybe you don't run fast.
And it helps to be slow if you're trying to get double plays.
No, I wonder which player. I want us to guess which player we.
Like I said, my guess would be Miguel Cabrera
because he gets a lot of in the past 2 years.
Past 2 years, well, the problem with last year is so many people didn't play. I wonder if that would add up. Like this year,
maybe Yohan Moncada does it a lot. I don't know why.
Yohan Moncada, he's got some speed though.
Oh, wake up, Lenny. Go ask him.
I can look it up now. I'm back at my computer.
I want to think about it for a minute and try to think about it myself, come up with a player. But so technically, it doesn't even have to be a bad player, though. That's the thing. It's
No,
probably
that's the thing. If you look, if you go every year into the guys with the most Roundtable plays and like look at the top 10, 7 of them are going to be really good players.
Yeah.
There'll be somebody in there that's kind of like a, like a.
It's got to be a guy at the bottom.
Like a Jan Gomez type or a Michael Perez type. Not bad, but that's the kind of guy. Slow catchers.
I think that they're behind. Well, they have to be hitting behind somebody that isn't very good or very fast, because that means, you know what I mean? They're on base, but they're not running very fast. Or yeah, I wonder who it is. I bet
the all-time leader. I'm just saying the all-time leader in Roundtable plays career is Albert Pujols with 407. Yearly. Here we go.
Does he get more as the years go by?
3 players are tied with 13 this year. 1 National Leaguer, 2 American Leaguers.
And what type of hitters are they?
I would say that 2 of them are really good hitters. The one is not had the best first half. And the other one is a pretty good hitter.
So they're at near the top of the lineup.
I'm not 100% certain where the third guy bats, but the other 2 guys are near the top of the lineup, yeah.
Like the top 2, 3? Number 1 or 2 batter?
Well, I'll give you the team and you guess the player, all right?
Yeah.
Chicago White Sox.
Okay.
Abreu.
Abreu is right.
He runs slow. Okay.
Washington Nationals.
Turner. Soto
is the guy. And then the kind of the curveball one a little bit is Toronto. Who on Toronto is in there?
Gurriel.
No.
Bichette.
No. So it's actually not like it's like the 7th or 8th guy you'd want on the team. But he's still not bad. Randall Gretchen.
Oscar. Grichuk.
Those are the leaders. The leaders this year. Last year, the leaders were all tied with 10. It was Rendon, Abreu, Longoria, and Orlando Arcia. What do you think of Arcia on the Braves?
I was kind of high on him going into last year. I liked him. I think that he was once a really highly touted prospect, and he just didn't pan out in time, so people forget about him. But he did okay last year too.
Well, I think that they've been searching for an outfielder, and now they're searching for 2 outfielders. I think that the playing time part is going to be there. So I picked him up in a league.
He'll bat 9th, but he'll hit home runs, I think.
Yeah, see what he was doing in the minors?
How's he doing?
For a while, he was leading the minors in home runs, but he got passed up. But with minor league stats this year, I'll pull these up right now. It's kind of impressive. All right, 2021, playing for the Gwinnett Braves.
But
11 home runs, 303 batting average. Is that right?
Did he always hit good in the minors, and maybe he can't translate his power up to the majors? I don't know. I can't remember what his problem is, but
he didn't have this kind of power. He had 13 home runs in 51 games. Like his best year in the minors, twice he had 15 home runs, and both times it was like 150 games. So
when he comes up to the majors, he hits like 220.
220,
right?
Well, I mean, the thing that's interesting about this is that because he actually played, he had 11. He's only had 35 at bats. His first 11 at bats were with Milwaukee, and they were bad. He left Milwaukee batting 091.
Mm-hmm.
So his season, he's only batting 245.
Where's he traded to?
He got traded to Atlanta. And in Atlanta, since he's been up with Atlanta in 7 games, in 24 at bats, he has got 1 double, 1 home run, 1 steal, and he's hitting 333.
I should see if he's available in my NL only league. But he's probably not.
When I was talking earlier before you even got on about Acuna, it's like he's the kind of guy like nobody you're going to pick up is going to do what Acuna did, but this guy could be there is a 10-15% chance that this guy is going to be really good.
Can you not put Arcia in the same conversation as Acuna?
Well, you sort of have to, because that was the thing. Like, go to your leagues and find out who the person who dropped Acuna picked up in his place. It's pretty garbagey. You know, it's Oscar Mercado was the guy. The one guy said it. For me, it was David Fletcher, which I actually think I got the best of the bunch. But at least he hits for average and will probably score runs being in front of that lineup. But but it's a huge drop off. But so you kind of need to. I hate the cliches, but you kind of need to find somebody that just kind of sparks, out of nowhere. And Arcia is a guy that could spark out of nowhere and do something. Maybe hit you 20 home runs from now to the end of the year. And he does run. He always does run a little bit. What if he hit 20 home runs and stole 11 bases or something like that? Like that would be a pretty big pickup. I'm not saying that I'm going to predict him to do that, but there's a 10% chance that happens. Whereas if you pick up Oscar Mercado, you're going to get 8 home runs, 5 steals, a 260 batting average. If you pick up David Fletcher, you're going to get 2 home runs, no steals, and a 313 batting average. Nothing too exciting on all these guys. There is a 10% chance that Arcia is exciting. That's what I'm saying.
People are so mean on Twitter, Douglas. They're mean. They're just mean. It's like, where do this is not normal people. This is just like a whole group of just mean.
The crazy thing about it to me is this. I know that's the way it's with comments sections and all that stuff. It's like, there used to be this thing that you say, like, if you don't have anything good to say, don't say anything at all. It's like, not only do you want to, like, say something mean and terrible, but you want the world to know it. When just easily, it's like, it's one of those things, like, like they say about too much violence on TV, just turn that show off. It's like, you read something you don't like, just don't comment on it and go to the next one. There's literally 50 million other things you can read on the internet.
Right, but what about when you just say something or ask a question and then the whole mob attacks you and be mean, and they actually get pleasure out of being mean to people, right? They get pleasure out of that.
Yeah, I don't really get it. I think I didn't say that. I didn't. All I said was the guy said obviously he was going to bat first. I said it was not obvious to me. The rules say you can't do that. And like all of a sudden,
if the lineup's not out, then it's not obvious to anybody. If the lineup's not out yet,
if you literally have to change the rules to make that lineup work, it's not obvious. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They have these weird special rules about the DH and batting first because Earl Weaver used to screw around with it. Like, he looked at every angle. Maybe what Earl Weaver used to do this thing where, like, you got to let your DH bat once, right? There's a rule that says that. Because what Earl Weaver would do in the 80s and 70s, late 70s, is he would take a pitcher who had pitched the day before, right? And he would make him his DH and bat him 7th, right? And then when that positional lineup got up, he would be able to make a better determination of whether he wanted a lefty or a righty, what kind of guy he wanted to be in that spot, than doing it cold from the beginning of the season. So they have what they call the Earl Weaver rules, and those Earl Weaver rules say that the DH has to bat once, the DH can't play the field. You know what I mean? And it's like, well, they just changed the rule. I didn't know they would do that.
Is this the semifinals for the home run
Mancini's
derby?
hitting again.
Are they in the finals or the
Knocked
semifinals?
out by Soto.
This is probably the finals.
I guess it does say finals up in the corner.
Malpel notes that Virgin stock is down 18% today.
What is down?
Virgin Atlantic stock, the guy that went into space.
Why is the stock down?
I imagine that this is the problem with things like that is dangerous, and there are certain companies that are so intertwined with their leadership that if their leadership were to die, they would have real problems, and that's one of them. I could see them, people selling ahead of his trip on the outside chance he doesn't come back from it because it was extremely dangerous.
So 1 minute bonus for Mancini.
I see he's got 30 minutes. That's
Here's something.
That's
Here's
a nice.
something interesting from the Orioles. If Mancini makes the final, she gets 70% off tickets. If he wins, you get 80% off.
Really, for a game or for?
Yeah.
That's kind of nice. That is kind of nice.
I'm not sure which game it's for.
He had 17 before his 1 minute bonus. That's a pretty good number.
Mancini.
So he's guaranteed me 70% off tickets on a certain game. I'm not sure which game.
If Mancini wins,
Yeah. Well, if he wins, I get 80% off. Right now, he's earned me 70% off.
oh, nice.
Boom, boom, Mancini.
19, you guys. He's at 19.
With a minute to go.
20. He's gonna win. I can't. Okay, I shouldn't get too excited. I should not.
Alonso will hit a lot.
No, Alonso's done. Mancini has too much heart, man. What a great idea. What a great. So it's Alonso and Mancini. That's it.
Yeah, unless they tie or something. But yeah.
I guess for July 24th versus the Nationals, and I get
30, 50.
percentage off a ticket.
Is that thing with Jack Peterson having the most home runs in history for the thing? Mancini this year has already hit 55 home runs just in this 1 year.
I'm telling you that I'm so happy for him right now. I feel like crying. It's so nice for him. 22 homers in the third round. Just how do you not be happy? If you are not happy for this guy, then you just have no feelings. For real. He's so likable. Yay, Mancini. So do you think that Pete Alonso, tell me now, what do you think? How many homers for Pete Alonso?
Pete Alonso hit 34 in the first round, so it's in
The first round, though, that's not happening anymore. What did he hit in the second round? 20-something? 29? I can't remember what he hit.
Yeah,
I think that Alonso wins this, but it would be nice to see Mancini do it.
I like Alonso, too. He had a special bat that he had, Did anybody see his bat?
I'm just saying that in both rounds he hit more than 22.
Okay, does Mancini get a bonus? No bonuses?
I think he already had his bonus.
Oh, he did. I wasn't paying attention because you guys were distracting me.
I'm sorry.
No, it was Lenny distracting me.
He got back up?
Yeah. He told me to turn the cooler off. And the light off. I turned the light off, too. So I'm ready for this to be over. I can't believe it. Is it 10:30 right now? It's only 10:30.
It's 10:30. Yeah.
10:35.
One less batter. Anybody still in the chat room? Matt Hooper is typing. 10:35. I want.
I'm going to chat.
Matt Hooper writes, I want him to lose to carry the Mystic further. I don't know what that means.
Hi, Matt Pal. Matt Pal's here. Yay. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off, Douglas.
I just what does carry the Mystic mean? carry the Mystic further?
I don't know, but everything that Matt Hooper says is negative. There's never any positive anything out of this person. It's always negative. I don't know how.
I
How
wonder
does
if
it
he's
work?
talking about Mystic, New Jersey, or something like that. I don't know.
I want him to lose. To
Well, I think
carry
that actually goes with your thing about the people being mean.
Mystique. Is it Mystique?
That's
What?
it's with a C, MYST.
Maybe he spelled it wrong on accident.
But
What does it mean, Matt Hooper? What does it mean? He wants him to lose.
I think that I want Alonso to lose.
Definitely.
Why would anybody want somebody to lose instead of just saying that you want certain person to win?
I have some like unconscious biases when it comes to sports, and I grew up. I thought one of the worst things that ever happened to baseball was when they divided the divisions, because for me the Cubs' real rival was the Mets, and it was great when they were in the same division. When they split that up, I always, because there's a reason why they call Chicago the second city, because New York's the first city, and there's always that natural thing. So I find it hard to root for the Mets. Now, when they have really good players, I root for those guys. I was a big fan of Doc Gooden, big fan of Howard Johnson. I like Lindor, Francisco Lindor.
Lindor's getting hot, you guys. He's hitting.
Yeah,
I would take him over a lot of people heading into the second half of the season. But it's not really the second half, right? I mean, we're over.
it's a little past second half, but they historically do things where they call this the break in the middle. But it's like 13 games past the first half, which means that the second half is 13 games less too. So it's a 20-game difference.
Look at his special bats. He has special Mets Pete Alonso home run derby bats.
They should be outlawed.
What?
Maybe he's not using it in this game, but he had something going on with his bats. Painted something. I don't know. I'm sure they have to go through some kind of quality assurance check, right?
Not for this game.
One pitch, one homer already.
Yeah, unfortunately.
I won't even give up on Mancini yet.
I think he's the first back-to-back winner. If he wins this, he'll be the first back-to-back winner since Yoenis Cespedes, right?
It is, yep.
Yoenis. And he was the first guy to break
tradition. Wasn't he an Oakland guy then, or was he on the Mets?
He was on. He won it with Oakland, then he was on the Mets, and he went there. But he was the first guy to go to the home run derby who didn't make the All-Star team. Now they do it with some regularity.
Really? Yeah. I didn't know they do that with regularity. Here we go. 4, 5. He's at 5, but he only has a minute. I don't know if he'll catch him. He can't. He'll get him.
He's got some bonus time.
Yeah.
Like I don't think Trevor Story is not on the All-Star team.
Yeah.
There's always one or two guys that are like that.
Yeah, he is.
I thought their only rep was Herman Marquez, unless he got named as an alternate or something.
Well, there's a lot of good shortstops in the National League, but maybe he's a reserve.
Yeah, maybe he's a replacement for somebody who got hurt, but he wasn't on the original list.
Well, how are you gonna dog a guy that's his own hometown, dude? How are you gonna dog him? You can't.
Well, I mean, they have Herman Marquez. That's the guy that got the. I mean, the truth is, I'm in a league. One of my leagues, who's on the waiver wire, been on there for a while, didn't even notice it, was that Charlie Blackmon.
He's been horrible, dude.
I know, it's like the whole team's been like when you look at like Herman Marquez being the one pick from Colorado, it's like the only guy on that team that's even close.
I would definitely pick him up, dude, if I could get him.
Is Ramil Tapia. So like their best players are Ramil Tapia and Herman Marquez.
Go pick up. No, it's CJ Cron. Get it right. It's CJ Cron. Okay.
Cron's been hitting like 140 for the last 2 months. He does hit home runs, but he's been hitting nothing.
Charlie Blackmon is going to get health. He's going to hit better. I believe this. This is why I didn't drop him yet, but he's been hitting horrible. But I think he's going to turn it around because he needs a job.
But I also heard that if you look at their schedule, I didn't double check this, but I heard it on something where they said like they have less games in Colorado in the second half than they do in the first. Like they already played more games in
But their record's good, so
Colorado.
they finally won it. They beat the Padres the other day. Didn't they just beat the Padres?
Yeah, but they're I mean they're clearly in fourth place and with a losing record.
But these players better start playing right because they need to get traded if they want to get payday.
I think maybe that might be it.
They're facing. Uh-oh. What happened? That's a kid, right? Whoops.
Something happened?
Pete Alonso says that they make the changes to the ball because based on who's... You don't believe it. Of course you don't. I know you don't believe it.
Well, no, the truth is, like, we really didn't talk about the ball until 2019. So we got 3 years of this going on. It wasn't until they moved the production site. And I actually really do believe that their goal was to make the ball more consistent. And by doing so, they made it easier to hit a home run.
To make the ball more consistent, we change it. That's how we do it?
No, it's like if you're making anything, there's going to be, name any product out there. You're making spaghetti, you're making a car. Not every car is going to be the same. You know what I mean? This car you buy is going to last for 170,000 miles. The guy that buys the car after you is only going to go 120 because of just little things. The idea was to make it more consistent where you can say all my cars are going 150. By doing that, it made the ball travel better through the air because you didn't have a lot of irregularities in the ball. So then after that, they actually did try. They tried to make the ball a little less bouncy, but it's a new thing. It's not something that's been going around for a while. Even if he were right about this, it's only something they've been doing for 2 years.
Hold on, is he going to be done, or does he got a bonus? He gets one bonus, so he has a minute for. Oh, no, he's going to beat Mancini. I bet you. He's going to be. This guy just goes out there and he just gets it done. It's like no problem. He's not even sweating right now. Look at him.
Yeah, like I said, I'm rooting for Mancini, but the mind says that Alonso's better at this.
Yes, he's very bad. Look at him, dude. He's got like all the confidence in the world. He seems like an okay guy. But it is kind of weird that they would start changing the ball when there's no reason to. It's not that we weren't. It's not that.
No, I think that the first time was inadvertent. It really was.
They needed to kind of like got out of control on them. I think without them planning that to happen because
I do think this is true. I think that they didn't think that. I mean, there are people out there that are like cutting the balls in half and doing, the physicists doing tests of the ball. I don't think they ever thought that was going to happen. I mean, who knows what?
Right.
Yeah. It's
right.
like they're like, we just want the ball to be more consistent. And I
remember they said that they used some balls from the previous year. They used some balls that were extra balls. They just
in the minor leagues. In the minor leagues, they did that.
Was it the playoffs that they used? Wait, no, it was the ball that they used was a playoff.
Yeah, that was yeah. They used didn't they use they used 2019 playoff balls in 2020.
He wins. Good job, Alonso. Good job, buddy. But Mancini did so good.
70%.
He gets $1 million. $1 million for this.
You get $1 million for winning this?
Yeah, they upped the money. So it went to 2.5 million or something, and the player gets 100 or 1 million. And look,
21. There it goes.
Look at that crazy.
22.
What is that? What is that? Are you kidding me? Look at that thing.
His average home run distance on home runs tonight, through all those home runs, what does he have? Like 23, 24.
Dude? The rapper that always wore those big necklaces.
57 plus 34, 61.
The rapper.
He hit 81 home runs, 91 home runs just tonight, I think. Right? 34 plus 22 plus 23. Anyway.
Flavor Flav. Do you remember him? Flavor Flav?
No, I'm a fan of Public Enemy.
Okay, do you like his necklaces? Where do you see Pete Alonso's necklace? He's wearing a Flavor Flav necklace.
That's actually kind of cool. I don't like wrestling.
Tell me when you see it.
I saw it. It spins around. I don't like
Yes.
wrestling, but I've actually liked the leagues I've played in where they've had wrestling belts because wrestling
Did
belts
you
are
see
cool.
UFC fighting? Did you see it the other night? Did you guys happen to watch
I don't
this?
watch UFC now.
Oh my gosh, it was unbelievable. It's really good, dude. It's really good. It was really great.
I actually, I actually boxed, in Gold Gloves and in college, and I like boxing. And people were not, or were. I have a personal problem with UFC because people were knocking boxing for being too violent, and then they put this thing on, which is so much more violent. And everyone wants to see that. And boxing is a sport.
I think the people watching UFC are actually the same people that claimed that boxing was violent. I don't think those are the same groups of
Well,
people.
no, the crazy thing is that it's more violent. And the truth is, I
think
told you
it's my bedtime.
Huh?
Thanks for letting me join.
Oh yeah, good night. Good night.
Have a good night. Tell little Samantha hello and have a good night too.
Okay, well, she's sleeping now.
And
so.
I do want to say thanks for joining me.
You're welcome.
Thanks for joining me. Thanks for joining us. We'll see you tomorrow.
I hope so, yeah.
Okay,
I'll
dude.
probably be a few minutes late because I got to take Samantha to Vacation Bible School.
I used to love going to Vacation Bible School when I was a kid.
So
I loved it.
I'll probably be about 5 minutes late.
Okay, we'll see you then.
Okay, bye.
Bye, dude.
But yeah, I really, we used to have this. I was telling Kevin Hastings about this because it turns out Kevin Hastings and I, there was a point in our lives like 20 years ago where we both were in Orlando and didn't know each other, but we knew some of the same people because he was here as he was a Navy guy in the nuke school, and we were talking about like where do we run together? I go, did you ever go to the Roxy? There was this bar which closed down because it was but there was this bar called the Roxy where the center point of the bar was it like had 2 floors, and on the bottom floor there was a boxing rink, and you could go up there and fight people and have a beer. And I used to go there and fight all the time. And I go, so it's like if you went there in that period of time, you saw me fight. That's what I told Kevin Hastings. But I like boxing.
Kevin Hastings is not a boxer. I don't think. I can't imagine.
If you're going to go to a bar, like it's nice when something's going on. Can you imagine going to a bar where like 2 guys pretty much from the audience are fighting each other in a boxing rink? Wouldn't that be cool?
But I don't know, man. I don't know if it's cool or not. It's kind of scary that this type of
Yeah, and that's why they closed. They closed because somebody got hurt and it was too much. But you got the all pads and you played by amateur rules. It was three rounds, and it was about you didn't win. You could win by knockout, but you won by scoring points, which is making more things than. It's a real tough sport, and it was a really great exercise program.
Oh, for sure. You know, some of these players, some of these fighters in the UFC, some of them, they just come out right off the street. I mean, they're not like some of them.
The other thing about UFC, like I did cover the UFC a little bit when I did that work for Roto Grinders years ago, where I did the odd sports, and this is one of them. And the truth is, like I watched a bunch of those matches, maybe 4, and they have to put like 9 of them together because most of them only last like 22 seconds. It's like boom, they're over, boom, they're over, boom, they're over. You know, it's like it's just not that interesting of a thing for me. And the truth is, I kind of abhor violence. Like, here's one thing: I like boxing. I can't watch 2 girls box. I can't. It just makes me sick. I believe they deserve to be able to do that, mind you, but I can't.
What if they look like men? Is that better or no? What if they look like men?
No, it doesn't matter. I can't watch a girl bleed. It just makes me feel awful. Like
they bleed all the time in the UFC. They bleed every fight.
That's what I'm saying. Like if I were walking down the road and somebody hit a girl, I would step in between them. You know what I mean? Like I have that feeling. I know it's what they do and it's their thing, but I can't get past it. I can't get past it enough to enjoy it as a sport, even though I am a boxing fan. You know.
But girls hit. What if it's a girl that's hitting her? No.
It's okay. It's okay until it's until either like this doesn't happen in this fight, until one of them breaks down and cries, or until somebody gets hurt, like bleeds or something.
I don't see a lot of crying going on in the UFC, dude.
I don't see the UFC, but in real life, 2 girls fighting, you'll see it. You know, that's what I'm talking about. But you'll see the bleeding part. I just can't. I know. Does it make me a sexist? I don't know. I'm not going to stop them doing it, and I think more power to them. Have that fun. It is something. I'm at a point in my life where I'm okay saying there are things in the world that are perfectly fine that I want no part of. You know?
Well, that's good. That's pretty tolerant sounding.
Yeah, it's like I like. It's like people like say you got to watch this TV show. It's like no, I'm good not watching that TV show, and there's nothing wrong with you loving it. You know what I mean?
I just don't think it's sexist to think that because you are naturally like instinctually protective of women, that's like an innate male trait.
No, it is. It's something wrong with my upbringing. I mean, it's like it's not just like what I have is more than what most men have because I was raised by a woman who taught me that all men were scumbags. And so I kind of have that. I have that defensiveness that women would have if they were taught to be scared of men, except for the fact that I'm 6'3", 260 pounds, and I can do something about it. You know what I mean? There's a, I've never walked away from a fight in my life, even at my advanced age, which is probably dumb.
What can you do about it, though? You could make sure no girl gets beat up in your presence.
I mean, the truth is, like, it's pretty rare. I mean, you know me pretty well, and this is who I am. The guy that talks to you, I can put on an act that'll scare the crap out of people. You know what I mean? I can stop a fight, and I've done it dozens, if not hundreds, of times. You know, that's the kind of thing I can do. Whereas, a guy that's 5'4", probably can't do it.
No, that's fine.
But people look at me and they make judgments about him. And the truth is, I look scarier than I actually am, but I am formidable enough. I always said that about baseball. Like, one of the things about me in baseball is people will look at me coming up to bat and they'd go, this guy's going to hit like 25 home runs. And I was never that guy. But I was a guy that hit 400 a lot. And I hit 11 home runs, 12 home runs. People always thought I'd have more power than that. I don't. I'm strong enough. But
did you bat fifth in the lineup or third?
No, most of the time in the teams that won, I batted second mostly. Because there was never a team I was on where I wasn't the best contact hitter.
They're playing the celebrity softball game now.
Yeah, that's usually the third thing in that. It's the celebrity softball game.
It's the worst. The worst. It's not even. It's just the worst.
I wouldn't mind seeing it if I were there, but as a televised event, have you ever been to an
There's
All-Star
a bunch
game?
of people that they're just so starving for attention constantly. They need to be.
Well, it used to be more baseball-y, like it used to be like old baseball players and like baseball adjacent kind of guys, like Kevin Costner kind of guy, Russell Wilson, people that were sort of in the mix, John Elway. But now it's like, well, the real thing now is like the idea of what a celebrity is so lessened, it's like, because you have all these people from reality shows and stuff, and I'm not, like, I had a friend who told me the thing. It's like, why they have shows like
Jenny Finch. Jenny Finch
she was a gold medal softball player for USA.
Yeah.
She deserves to be there. Like, that's the kind of person. Yeah, that's fine.
So I think she's the manager of the team.
But a friend of mine said the reason they have that, like, shows like America's Got Talent and The Voice and stuff is so that every city can have somebody come sing at their Christmas tree lighting. Like, it used to be only New York and Boston got it, right? Now you can get some D-level celebrity to go to Wichita Falls, Kansas, and sing at the Christmas lighting.
Oh, that's funny.
We have Deanna Mercer, who came in.
Did you see Hunter Pence?
No, I didn't. I actually turned that off.
Hunter Pence.
Always loved Hunter Pence.
Me too.
To me, like, he's the example of the guy in baseball, fantasy-wise, who just came up in the middle of the season and
oops, he fell down
and carried you the rest of the way. Not a lot of guys do that.
I told him when he signed my hat, I told him that I drafted him on my fantasy team, and he asked me what round it was, and it was like later in his career, and I said I lied to him and told him that it was the 4th round, but it really was like the 7th round. But I didn't want to hurt his feelings.
I I had a I had a friend in my fantasy league who actually played big league baseball, and he pitched for literally like 5 games in his career in the pros. And the one game when he got his first call up, he was with the Phillies and he was playing the Mets. And in that particular week, he was playing me, and he had David Wright in his lineup. And his first pitch to David Wright, he let up a home run. The a-hole. So I thought that was fun. But he's not. He has one of the worst career records in all of history. So.
Did you still put him on your team, though? Did you put him on?
Yeah, we used to draft him just to screw with him for years.
There's Todd Hilton.
Helton's cool.
Who is this up to bat? It looks like a rapper. Somebody. Wiz Khalifa? No. I don't know who it is.
Are you right on top of Lenny in that hotel room, or do you got space?
No, he's sleeping in the bed. He's right really close to me. Maybe 10 feet away, maybe.
I just wonder if we're being too loud.
I turned you down. But I should probably go soon. Who is this up to bat that's the Braves fan? Who is this?
I don't know. I literally... That wasn't bad.
Von Miller. Denver Broncos.
Who?
Von Miller. I think he's a footballer.
I'm amazed at how little I know about football after about 10 years. You know? There was a point about 10 years ago I stopped enjoying my Sundays rather than watching football. And
I know. Lenny doesn't watch either. He used to watch football every Sunday all the time. He just has no urge to watch football. What happened to it?
for me, it became too much of a thing, and I started dating a woman who didn't care about football at all, but we could have fun on. I dated a girl who which we wound up getting married eventually, but she lived kind of far away. We lived in the same county in Georgia, but she lived like at one end of the county, out of the other, so it was like an hour and 10-minute drive to get to her house.
So you couldn't watch football?
No, well, we only really saw each other on the weekends, so we made the weekends kind of important. And it was kind of I never wanted to be the guy going, let's watch football at 3 p.m. on a Sunday when we could go, to a brunch somewhere or take a hike or something. You know what I mean? Because we only had the weekends. Because we lived so far away from each other that you couldn't do like a Wednesday night thing.
Maybe that's why you liked each other so much, and you didn't see each other too much, and then you got married. And then when you got married, then you too much time together, maybe.
Yes. Well, no, it was her kids were assholes, and I was too honest with her.
I'm so glad that I didn't get Bauer in trade, dude.
Didn't get who?
Bauer. We were trying to find ways to get Bauer.
Yeah, that's a horrible situation.
What a mess.
I was talk with that when we talk about this, it's like I once went out with a girl who wanted me to hit her, and I said, we've been dating like a week. I'm not there yet. You know what I mean?
I'm not. It's not. This is not.
I don't know if I'll ever get there, but I'm not there now. I could see like that's the kind of thing you pull out, after you've been married for 7 years.
I don't it makes no sense to me, so it's hard for me to even take a real stance on it. It just doesn't even make real sense to me that
there are some people that get off on pain, and I don't really
plenty of people. It's not really a brand new thing, but the more that I look into it, the more
well, it's the one thing
really do believe. I mean, she told him exactly what she wanted, and he did it like a dumbass.
The one thing that you can't get by is that according to the thing he had sex with her while she was unconscious, and that's something you can't consent to. According to her words. Well, according to her, but the thing about this is that she didn't file the complaint. That complaint was filed ex parte, meaning that the state looked at what happened to her and said they're going to file a complaint. And that's the part that's really going to hurt him, because the things that happened with Marcelo Zuna and with like Ray Rice and with Aroldis Chapman, is you have a moment where the victim, the female victim, goes, "What happened to me is horrible, but I'd much rather be divorced to a professional football player than divorced to some guy who's selling insurance." You know what I mean? Because the money's better. You know, like, so they're going to try to keep it ameliorated stuff. Like, the truth is, that girl can't do anything to make this better for Bauer because she didn't do anything at this point. The only thing that she did is she went to the hospital. And
Well,
when she went to the hospital, the doctors the people who treated her were forced to report that the police investigated it, and then they filed charges. She never, her intention probably was to keep it between them.
Nobody filed charges. Nobody's filed any charges.
I thought I thought the charges were filed ex parte, or something was filed ex parte.
Restraining order.
The restraining order was filed ex parte. Yeah. So yeah, well, the legal issue was filed by the state, not by her.
And why did she, like, in between the time that she was there the first time and the second time, they had constant conversation over text messages, and she would like tell him what.
No, I have no doubt that most of it was consensual, and if it wasn't for that one thing about having sex with the girl when she was passed out, I bet that he could recover from this. I don't think he can because with that, that is by every legal definition rape, and I don't know how you get past that.
Well, when she says that she liked it when she was passed out, she liked going out like that. She said that she likes being put out. It's weird. The whole thing is too weird.
Yeah, it is a weird thing, but yeah, I mean, you sit there and you go, and I'm not, I'm not a fan of Bauer. I'm not against him. He's just a guy, a pitcher.
I'm really disappointed in this whole thing.
But I think of those situations. The thing about the passed out part to me is like, I've been in situations where I've seen guys try to have sex with a passed out girl, and I've stopped them.
But it's different. It's different. No. Yeah, but
it would be different if it was their girlfriend.
It's like different if you're waiting for somebody to pass out to take advantage of them. That's totally different than actually like planning it and having like saying that you're going to do it and doing it.
The other part about it is that, and this is a true statement about the law, is you can't consent to have a crime committed against you. You cannot do it.
How can she prove that it actually even happened, though?
That is, well, I mean, apparently, when they do the checkup or whatever on her, they probably performed a rape kit.
They know she had sex, but they don't know if she was having sex while she was passed out or conscious.
Yeah, I guess that would be the way to argue it in court, to say that part of it never happened. And the truth is,
well, they talked about it.
The truth is, it's you versus her.
But they talked about it.
But I'm saying, even if someone said, "Choke me out," I guess they would have to say, "Choke me out when I'm passed out. Have sex with me however you want." If you have proof of that, that would change the story a little bit, because that'd be prior consent. But once you're there, like you're in the middle of having sex with somebody, and you can go too far. You know what I mean? Like, and a person can say, "Hey, stop this now." And don't be wrong, I understand the nature of life. It might take you 30, 40 seconds to stop. The idea that you stop in the moment he says it. But the fact that there's that conscious decision to do that stuff is a little weird.
The trust level would have to be so extreme.
And that's the weirdest thing about it, is the fact that this was, according to that thing, and correct me if I'm wrong, like that was like their third date, right?
They had met the first time they met. She came over to his house, and that was the first time she went unconscious. But then after that, though, she was saying that she liked it. She wanted to keep trying it. She wanted to push the limits. She wanted more bruises on her ass. Like, just.
I've been saying, like I told you, like a girl told me to hit her once, and I said I can't do that. Like, at some point, like there's something wrong with the guy that would actually hit a girl.
Does it even make sense that you could strangle somebody with their own hair, dude? Is that a thing?
If they had long enough hair and it was braided or something, you could actually strangle them. I think you could strangle somebody with their own hair if it wasn't braided, but they probably wouldn't pass out because it has too much give. But if it were braided,
she spent the night both the time she stayed up all through the night. She didn't leave till the next day, so she wasn't feeling that.
Yeah, but the problem is she went to the hospital and they had to treat it like it was serious.
She didn't go to the hospital till she drove all the way back to San Diego the next day, and didn't go to the hospital till the next day. After that, she waited 2 days to go there.
But I'm saying it wasn't her choice. It
Her
wasn't her
friends
choice.
made her go.
No, it wasn't her choice to file a restraining order to press the charges. It was like she went to the hospital, and the people there are duty bound under cases of potential domestic violence to report these things.
And then when the police came and questioned her, she downplayed it. She keeps in her statement, she says she keeps saying that she's afraid of what Bauer would do if she told him no, or like didn't go along with what he was saying. She was afraid of what he would do, but I don't understand how that's possible, because he never did anything but be nice to her. In all the text messages, he's like, "I'm so sorry this happened to you." He offered to buy her groceries. Like, he was trying to really, he felt horrible. You could tell that he felt bad about it.
The stuff after the situation when they stopped seeing each other, whatever that was, that doesn't have the same feeling as the stuff that's before that, because after that, it sounds like any domestic violence situation. Of course, at that point, they're apologetic and say, "I'll do anything for you."
No. He's not apologetic for acting like he's a horrible person, but like domestic violence to me is different than rough sex, consensual. I don't think that he's a monster. Like, I don't think that he got all mad and like thrilled off the hook. And
no, the part that troubled me is that this girl was passed out, and he decided, this is when I want to have sex with her.
No. He was already having sex with her when she passed out. And
no, she, according to the report that she said that he initiated anal sex while she was passed out. So that wasn't happening beforehand. Like, I could, I did once have sex with a girl, and we wound up in the emergency room because I sort of dislocated her hip.
Oh my God. TMI, dude.
No, there's literally a TV show on like one of those learning channels ever called Sex Sent Me to the ER. There literally is.
I know, I've seen it.
This stuff happens,
Right, but
the question is, like, I didn't say to her when that happened, "Hey, let me finish and we'll take you." Like, no, let's get you to the ER. And boy, that was horrible. It was embarrassing.
I don't know. I feel like I just don't view it as domestic violence. I don't see it as that at all.
The problem is that they're not really, like, you're dating a couple times. I don't know how domestic you guys are. And so it becomes something else. Like, I don't know.
Well, I could tell you that rape is really hard to prove. And if you were willing to go to somebody's house and you go back to their house, then you drive 2 hours to go see them again. And the whole time that in the between, you guys are texting each other all kind of sexual innuendos, saying literally.
That was literally the defense that Dershowitz used when he defended Mike Tyson. She said, "Look, he knew what she was getting into when she walked up the stairs into her room. You know what I mean?
It's not the same.
She made that conscious choice, to go that far, which she didn't have to do."
What about when you're actually like asking for that specific thing, and you're too if you say to.
I didn't. I mean, I read the one article in The Athletic. I don't have a description, so I didn't read all the text messages.
I didn't even get to read them all either, but I've just been piecing them together because
but if there was a text message that said "choke me out," but then after that, "do as you want," that would change the thing 180 degrees.
Absolutely says that.
But one of the crazy ones is, like, they had a safe word, right? And this is something that I've actually
that was his idea.
That I've experienced. It's like, if you're into that choke play, and a person can't speak for whatever reason, what good is there to have a safe word? You know what I mean?
I think there's a lot of fishy stuff about it, dude. I think that it's really, I think there's, like, when The Athletic reported that she had a skull fracture, that her skull was fractured. She did have raccoon eyes, so she had 2 black eyes, and so they sent her for a CT scan because they said that those 2 black eyes are like symptoms of a skull fracture, which is very dangerous. And it turned out that she did not have a skull fracture, so there wasn't really but The Athletic still reported that they didn't. Trevor Bauer's lawyer had to literally go to The Athletic and make them retract that and they also went to another online heavy.com where they do like articles and stuff. They have to, like Bauer's lawyers having to go to these media outlets and telling them, you need to correct this because she did not, it turns out when she had the CT scan that she didn't actually have any kind of fracture. And to me, I mean, it does make a difference when you say that he fractured her skull or something.
I guess it does make a difference in that way, but either way you slice it,
It makes him sound like a horrible.
well, no, I mean, when they said you might have a skull fracture, or she didn't say there's no chance of that because he didn't hit me in the head.
No, she said that, no, the doctors told her that she needed to go for a CT scan because she had symptoms that could be a skull fracture or whatever.
Yeah.
But instead of writing that whole thing that the results of the CT did not show that, they make it sound like that's what happened to this girl.
I only read the initial report because you know where I go to for that information, because I know they're weird people, but it's the one thing they're good at is TMZ, just getting like kind of the information and the links. I know it's a little sensational, but that's their job.
They're the first ones that get the story
about the stuff that's lurid. You know.
Yeah, there's actually some screenshots of her statement, but it's like 85 pages. There's a lot of documents out there. I haven't really been able to find them all, to be honest, but I've been finding here bits and pieces of screenshots of the text messages. She's going to have a hard time. Plus, they say that there's more information coming out in the near future, but there's nothing that she could do to fix it for him. His reputation is finished, dude. He's probably never going to fix it.
When I looked this up, I found a link in the Spanish world of a Dominican Republic newspaper that interviewed Marcelo Zuno, and Marcelo Zuno said that when the films come out, it's going to exonerate him. You know, it's hard to know what's true and what's not, is what I'm saying. You know, because both sides are saying, well, actually, it's not true. She's not saying much of anything outside of the original report. But, well, whatever Bauer has been saying is what you sort of expect him to say, whether he's guilty or innocent. It's like, it's hard to judge from that, you know? There's no guilty person says, yeah, that was me. I did all that stuff. They always deny it. But if you're innocent, you would deny it too. So you can't really infer a lot from that, you know? You can't say he's either guilty or innocent based on what he's talking about. So the things that trouble me are those, is the part that the restraining order was not her decision. They decided that she needed it. And the other part being, if it's true that he had sex with somebody when she was passed out, even if it was asked for, it's still, you know, it's still fucking creepy. I'll wait here for a second. Then I'll go.